Awesome.
Yay.
Cool.
Okay.
Success.
Yeah, so all right, so just I'm gonna head over to my chair. Let me know when like stuff's popping up on you guys' screens and stuff.
Okay,
Will do.
sounds good.
And
Oh,
we got.
I see live.
Oh, it was saying live. Now I'm getting commercials. So here's the ad money for you.
Yeah,
If you get paid by Twitch, I'm
Wait,
not sure if you do or not.
I don't
is,
think I do.
is that? Do
That
you have like the virtual boy thing as your background, Ted?
that's a GIF I've got saved onto my yeah. I don't know, I like to do random stuff. Oh wait, there now it's gone. Okay.
Okay, and people can definitely see it because
Okay.
I see it. I see all hail the virtual boy in the chat.
Oh, there
Um
it is. Okay.
okay. So anyway,
Well,
uh,
it's better than Superman doing that weird blowing thing at Batman.
oh man, I love random Superman gifts though. They're the best. But anyway, hey guys, welcome to the Hyrule Warriors Grindfest. It's been a little bit, so and by a little bit I mean like slightly more than a week, so oh no. Um
Yes.
but anyway, yeah, so if you guys are unfamiliar with the stream, we grind in Hyrule Warriors. Yes, so exciting. Eventually we kind of stopped talking about the game like 9 times out of 10 though. So, yeah. Um for the past few couple of sessions I've been like letting people pick, but today I've kind of since I'm almost done with the Termina map, I've got a few set goals. I want to finish Ganondorf, I want to finish Sia, and I want to get a lot done with Rizro. And if I can, I also want to get where the hell is she? Zelda up as much as possible as well. So we're gonna try to get stuff done today. So I think we're gonna start with Sia. I think.
Wait, you're actually going to try to accomplish something? What the hell's wrong with you?
Oh, I know it. I'm a madman. Uh, but anyway, hold on. I'm gonna get her EXP potion, and then we can get started.
Do they
This
do they do they stop giving you extra hearts after the third row?
I think so. It's I've got Agatha maxed out, so I think that's what happens. So,
Hmm.
yeah. Um,
Wow,
I
you
guess it
must have
stops mattering.
grinded really hard with Agatha, Ted, and totally didn't buy all those levels.
I did grind a little bit for her just so that I could get her weapon to be a little bit better. I had to unlock
Oh,
skills,
okay.
and I had to
That's
unlock
fine.
skills anyway. So like, why waste the rupees, right? So it grinding is a lot quicker now that I have the EXP potion. Cause it goes way faster, and I mean way way faster. So yeah, okay, we're gonna start with Sia because then we can get all the boob talk out of the way quickly. Um,
Oh, do we have to?
oh man.
I mean, I love melons, don't you?
Um, I don't know. They're not my favorite fruit. I like bananas and like I probably shouldn't have picked bananas.
Good to know.
Um, uh,
I Here's the sad part. I love melons of all types. I am allergic to them. My throat starts clenching up, and I have trouble breathing. So I can't have watermelon or honeydew or cantaloupe, and
Aw.
it makes me very sad.
oh, that's like my mom with lobster. She loves lobster, is allergic to it and can't eat it.
Yeah,
It's always the
seafood's
stuff
more
you
a
love.
much more common allergy though than like fruit, because shellfish and fish are one of the most common allergens. But oh my gosh, that's pretty severe. I know people who are like, oh, I'm allergic to such and such fruit, but like, I don't think like I think sometimes it's kind of like not as legit as like my throat closes up. Like that's
No, it's like some people are like, well, it's like, you might like feel a little bit sore or like I don't know. I'm lucky enough to not be allergic to really anything. Um, but some people like actually do have like, legit allergies, and I feel bad for those kinds of people. But then, some people are like, oh, I have an allergy to milk, but it's not that bad. And then there are people like, oh my God, I'm like so allergic to everything, and then they're like not really all that allergic.
yeah. Like I know a friend of mine has worked as a waitress, and she says there'll be people who are like, oh, I'm allergic to gluten. And so she goes through the trouble of talking to the chef and making sure their entree is gonna like it's they're gonna make it carefully and it's gluten free. and then she sees them like tearing into the rolls at the table. She's like, that's got gluten in it. They're like, oh,
Hey,
this is okay.
hey, I'm
I
sorry
mean,
to
that's
interrupt,
the extreme
Catherine.
case, but yeah,
I'm sorry to
yeah.
interrupt, Catherine, but according to the chat, Ted, apparently Catherine and I are coming in a little low.
Hmm. All right.
I can check the stream myself, but I don't want to get the echo, so let me pull this up
Hold
real
on.
quick.
I'll like the only way I can really fix that. Like, I wait. Hold on. Is Skype coming in low on the audio? Okay, Skype's coming in really. Hold on. Hold on. Doop 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 doop. Could you guys say something for me?
Hi.
Something.
Yes, something,
Um.
something, something. Blah blah
Um.
blah.
Okay. That didn't really change. Okay. The best I can do is lower myself to make it more even.
Yeah, I think
And
that
then
just
they'll, and then you'll need to turn up your volume. I'm sorry about that, guys.
I think.
is
I,
there anything we need to do? Wait, what do
Yeah,
I
is
need
there
to
anything
do?
I could do to raise my sound levels on Skype? I've never
I
actually done
don't,
that before.
I don't think so. Hold on.
Let's see.
Let
Sounds.
me look at the,
I'm
li-
good for everything else. I use this damn thing quite a lot.
yeah, audio setting.
I could raise my volume a bit. I could,
Hold
but
on.
I don't think I need
Oh,
to.
hold on. I can turn up the volume to high. I've got it a little bit. Okay. Now could you guys try saying something?
Hello.
Do we sound better now?
You should be a little bit louder. I'm gonna turn my own audio back up just a tad. Okay. That should be a little bit better. If they've still got trouble, if they're still having trouble, let me know. All
All
right.
right.
Okay.
How's this sounding, guys?
Uh, it'll
Yeah.
take a little bit, but hopefully it's
Yeah,
good.
the whole buffer thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid Twitch. We're not censoring anything here. This is live and uncut, man. Uh,
Oh boy.
yeah, that's actually probably not a good thing.
Nope. Uh, Going back to what you were talking about before there, Catherine, I found something I really love anymore. Just brightens my Mondays up. There's this, um, I guess, Gawker channel I'd never even heard of until a little whiles ago called Kitchenette. And every Monday they have like real life stories from people who worked in restaurants or are still working in restaurants. And they're just telling all these crazy, like, stories about bad customers, stupid customers, awful customers, and by all accounts, they're real stories. But my God, they are so like just interesting to listen to because people are so stupid, and it just
Oh my God, people are the stupidest people. Like people are just dumb. Like
oh man. But if you like that kind of story, Catherine, I think you'd love that those stories. I
Yeah.
got
I
became
can
quite
imagine.
addicted.
I should have. Sorry, I should have been able to kill Argarok in one go. I didn't do the right combo for him. Sia's third combo where she like summons all of the dark links in like a chain absolutely demolishes weak point gauges for bosses. So yeah, pro tip.
Pro tips.
Yeah, pro tip.
Nice.
After the amount of time I've been playing this damn game, I better have some pro tips to share. Um, oh, what?
uh,
Come on! Man, I totally pressed the hookshot button in time. Stupid game. Ugh. Um,
it's cheating.
um,
yeah,
Ted,
yeah.
someone in the chat wants to know which characters do you main in Smash?
Right now it's mostly Pac-Man. I play some Robin, some Palutena, for fun. I play like I'll play basically any character for fun, but like it's mostly Pac-Man is my go-to guy for when I'm serious. So, yeah, right now it's Pac-Man. So yeah, um, you who did you end up who did you guys end up uh settling
Maining.
on?
Well, considering I haven't played Smash in probably over a month, if not more, it's kind of sad that way. Um, I just before I stopped playing, I was starting to get really good with. I was starting to really enjoy, I should say, Pit. And as a secondary character, I was actually surprising myself with how much I was enjoying DDD. I was like, "What the hell's up with this? I'm loving DDD. I did not like him at all in Brawl, and all of a sudden, just He's clicking with me, and I'm loving it.
He got a lot better in Smash 4 though. Like the Gordos are way better than the Waddle Dees, and like I don't know. He's also just like the greatest character to ever have existed, so that might help. Man, I'm so happy I got a DDD amiibo. Like he was one of the ones that I wanted like a lot. So yeah, I've only got 4 left that I really want to get, and unfortunately, they're all gonna be stupid ass rare ones.
Yeah.
It's Robin, Palutena, Pac-Man, and Olimar, and I'm not expecting any of those to be easy to find. So, well, maybe Olimar will be okay, because like there's a few.
No,
No,
I highly doubt it. I mean, characters
No,
nobody cares
Ted,
about is.
well, Pikmin.
I'm gonna buy 200 Allmar because I think he's hentai.
But Pikmin has like I've seen Pikmin toys in stores, like actual like in Toys R Us, I've seen Pikmin plushes. So that's why I think like out of those 4, I think he's the most likely to be like easy to not easy, but I like I think it's not impossible for me to run into Olimar. I guess is the best way to put it. um,
Yeah.
I wish you good luck. I gave up pretty much at the beginning. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to try to. One, it's going to be stupid expensive to collect everything. Two, it's going to be too much of a pain in the ass to collect the ones I do want. So I just said, screw it. I'm not going to get my hopes up.
uh, you are a smarter man than I.
I like to think so. Yes.
I would say that Catherine is smarter than me too, because she's only gonna get 4. But the problem is that the 4 she wants are all 4 Fire Emblem characters.
Oh,
So
Fire Emblem people.
Well, you need
I
them
have
for Steam. For new Steam.
well, she would
yeah.
need them for Steam if she had taken her Marth out of the box, or will ever.
Comfortable in there. And Ike is waiting for me to pick him up at Best Buy.
Yes,
I told him he could wait.
I fight for my friends. Actually, that's what he said, and like we're assuming that means sure, I'll hang out in this cold, depressing building for another weekend. That
Look, I said, Ike, it's dark and it's cold, and I have to walk for like 45 minutes to get to the Best Buy to pick you up. And he was like, "You'll get no sympathy from me."
uh,
So I was like, you have to wait another day."
yeah, he's surprisingly dickish like that.
That Ike. Oh, someone asked how Fire Emblem Awakening is going. I beat it. I was so happy. I beat the game. I
I,
love Fire Emblem Awakening. If anyone in the chat has not played Fire Emblem Awakening, I strongly recommend it if you're a fan of RPGs. Even if you haven't played any tactical RPGs before, which was my experience, it's very friendly to people who are new to the genre. And like I know I lost a lot, especially at the beginning when I was still figuring out like, oh, I should figure out where my enemies can attack and how I should plan for things. But I don't mind resetting. Like I you learn from failing and then trying again. I really liked it. I love the story. I love the characters. I am so excited for Fire Emblem 14. I can't wait to learn more about that.
I just hope it gets a better name than Fire Emblem If, which is
I
kind of a
don't call
dumb.
it that because that sounds stupid. I just call it 14 because
Yeah,
that's what it is.
even
I'm
though
sure they'll come up with something good.
yeah, although If is at least a title as opposed to unnamed Fire Emblem project. So
Yeah, I had no idea what to call it when I was putting up the videos for the trailers and discussions and whatever else. I'm like, do I call it if? Because not everybody knows that it's called if in Japan. Do I call it? I didn't know what number it was in the actual series. I'm like, screw it. We'll do it the Nintendo's naming convention. New Fire Emblem.
Oh my gosh, are you gonna buy a used copy of New Fire Emblem?
New
uh,
used. Can I get a used new 3DS? Wait.
Okay, you want to know what the funny thing is though? The original New Super Mario Brothers is almost 10 years old. So yeah, that game's not very new anymore. Um,
it really
They're
wasn't
gonna
that
have
new
to.
when it came out, to be
They're gonna have
honest.
to start using synonyms for new. So novel Super Mario Brothers.
um,
Yeah.
I can't think of another one.
Maybe.
Not old Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
uh, no, let's switch it up. Let's go with old Super Mario Brothers. Be interesting, like just walkers.
Vintage Super Mario Brothers.
There you go.
What? So you mean New Super Mario Brothers? Oh.
Um, Ted, someone asked for tips on grinding for in Hyrule Warriors if you don't have the DLC.
The True Partners mission is probably the best your best way to go. You get that by finding all of the gold Skulltulas from the main game, so from the legend mode, and I believe I think you need some of the hard mode ones as well. So, find all of those. That'll be good grinding in and of itself, because when you're low leveled, going through legend mode on normal and hard difficulties is a good enough way of gaining experience. Then yeah, just spam the True Partners mission. Now that you have the experience up potion, it should make things an awful lot quicker. But if you're gonna be grinding up to max, you don't really need to grind up to max if you don't have the DLC. Because like the you have to remember that the original game, like everything that comes on the disc, was designed with level 99 as the cap in mind. So you're not gonna need to really go much higher than that unless if you want to do hero mode, which is still ridiculous even if you're on level 99. So, yeah, the True Partners mission, playing on hard mode, those are basically the best ways to go about it. There's nothing really in the standard adventure map that it's good for that's good for grinding. So, yeah.
And a follow-up question: if you have all the DLC, what's the best place to grind?
Rack up KO's missions on the Master Quest map. The one that I'm doing right now, which you'll see on the map in between, which you'll see where it is on the map in between missions, and also the one on the very bottom left corner of the map are the best places to grind. And also, don't we answer this question like every single week? Like,
Yeah, I think so.
pay attention, guys. Jesus.
Well, people might have missed it.
Yeah, it
Oh,
took me how long? I was here for your first Grindfest. It took me how long to actually be able to make it to another one?
yeah. Also, your for the first Grandfest we did was also the only one to not be able to get uploaded to YouTube, though. So,
Oh, okay,
a
yeah.
lot like there's actually been a significant amount of people who watch them just on the replays. So that makes me happy in my
Oh,
happy feelings. So yeah, like I've seen in a number of comments like I love these streams. I wish I could be there live. So
that's always a good feeling.
yeah, it is. Like, it always makes me happy to know that people like what we're doing. So, woo. Okay, so now I got to get another experience up potion. So, yeah, there's gonna be a quick break in the action as I take care of that. Uh, Someone make a distraction. Go.
Um,
Quick
has
smoke bomb.
anyone heard
Ah. Ooh.
what?
Smoke bomb.
Oh, that works.
What
Um,
were you gonna
has
say, Catherine?
have you heard of Spooky's House of Jump Scares? I have not. I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, I
Someone
saw that.
asked about
I saw it in that chat too, and I have no idea what that actually is. I
Um.
thought he was going with the spooky, scary skeletons thing, but I don't think that's the same thing.
Yeah, I have not heard of that. So. Um.
Sorry. That sounds like something I would not enjoy. I don't like jump scares at all.
They can be fun.
Boo.
I just remembered something. I saw his name in the chat again, Selder. I saw earlier that he had just finished Majora's Mask 3D today, and good for you. I'm still only on the first. Just finished the first dungeon, but he was like, your review is like you were too hard on it. I think, or I forget exactly what he said, but he basically said my review was too hard on him. Like, not my review. That was all Andre. He handled Majora's Mask because this is actually my first time playing through it. So I'm taking it nice and easy, and I'm enjoying what I'm playing so far. But
You know. You know.
it's a nice update.
For free game explain video idea, second review from a newbie's perspective, because Andre is someone who really enjoyed the original Majora's Mask. So you basically get free views if you do Majora's Mask review newbie edition or something. Because I do think that like with a remake, it's important to get both perspectives from somebody who played the original and somebody who has limited experience with it. Like I was gonna say never touched it, but in your case, you've played so little that I don't think it's really a significant difference. So yeah.
Yeah, it's it's I'm enjoying what I'm playing. I do feel like I'm missing out on some of the original mystique of the game. because everybody's talking about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting the depressing feeling and whatnot, but it's just maybe because I've heard about this game so much over the years. It's just I know a lot of it, so I'm not feeling the oppression and the time,
Oh,
the just
you're not.
pure depression of it all. I'm like, what am I missing out on here? But I'm
So,
still enjoying it.
so Derek, are you saying that you're not really feeling it?
No, I'm feeling. I'm feeling it. I'm just not. I'm just not getting that. How do I want to put it? That oomph that everybody talks about when it comes to like, oh man, it's just it gets so down. Yeah, people get depressed and whatnot, but I'm not feeling like like it's not overly sad. Maybe it gets that way later in the game, but I'm still really enjoying it. There's no way I'm down in the game at all. Is really good.
I think it definitely depends on like what side quests you've seen, and what am I trying to say? Like what side quests you've seen, and also I think the fact that you haven't played the game, but you're still like exposed to some of the more sad ones does have an impact on it, because it's the basic reason why people don't want spoilers is because if you know about something in advance, it ruins the impact of like the emotional impact of the scene. So you know.
Yeah, I hate spoilers for that reason. It's
And you
just
work for Game Explain.
I know it's the irony. I know if I did not work for GameSpot, I would not watch our own videos. And I was, oh, you have no idea in the early days how much I was on Andreas. Like, dude, stop spoiling stuff in this stuff. There's ways to get people interested and not have the whole damn spoiler right there. And I had to lobby pretty hard to stop doing that. And I think we finally I finally got it. There was enough complaints about all that that I finally was able to convince him not to do it anymore. And people stopped complaining so much. You still get the odd person like, "Hey, spoilers," and we're like, "It says ending." There's kind of a spoiler if it says it's the ending right there. So yeah.
Yeah,
uh,
so
Yeah, that makes
yeah,
sense.
like if it says the ending on the video, like you've got no one to blame but yourself, dude. Oh, come on, damn it. Oh man. Okay, so since you guys are behind, like Argarok, once you get him down to lower health, he like never wants to do his attack that actually reveals his weak point. He just did, and then my magic ran out, and I had to do the stupid animation, which made me miss it. So
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I'm seeing it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have pushed A before that, and you could have just put him right into his weakness gauge mode.
I have, but yeah, I wanna. The thing is that I want to keep the focus spirit going as long as I possibly can, so that I can keep the exp up, going. That's how you get levels quickly in these maps. You
Oh yeah.
want to, because you get the exp up modifier, and then
Hmm.
yeah, and the best case scenario is I get EXP up when I kill one of the bosses too, which is easier said than done, because it's very easy to run out of run out of magic before you can do that. But oh, come on, I got you, damn it! I fucking hate Argarok, piece of shit. Oh wait, hold
Well,
on.
the worst guy is right next to you. I
Oh,
hate imprisoned.
no, the imprison's a more annoying boss to. Oh, he had okay. Argarok only had one hit left, and I could have taken him down. That's just obnoxious. The imprison, like, the Argarok's annoying. The imprison's frustrating, which are two different things. Like the imprison just has way too much health, and like for everybody else, depending on what character you're playing as, it's possible to get their entire weakness down, their entire like gauge down in one what's this called, in like one go. It's not possible with the imprisoned. He always
Takes two
yeah, he
at the least.
yeah, so
No, I definitely feel you there. I hate the son of a bitch.
better or worse than in Skyward Sword.
you know, technically, you do fight him more in this game.
Well, if you
so
well if you play adventure mode, then yeah, uh like
yeah,
no
I
question.
I'd say he's built up his annoyance in this game more so than in Skyward Sword. Because at least with Skyward Sword, yeah, you're still doing the same mission, but they do find ways to change it each time. This is the same damn thing over and over again. And it
And
just,
then we get to fight him more in the boss pack. Oh boy.
uh, I knew that was going to be one of the extra modes. I'm like, why? I mean, yeah, it might be easier to get some of the things, but now I'm much more interested in Ganon mode.
Oh, Ganon
Playing
mode's gonna be badass.
Someone asked about that. What is Ganon mode? I.
it's exactly what it sounds like. You play as Ganon. Um,
The giant pig form.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I was really confused. I was like, wait, he's on the character selection screen.
Oh no,
No, that's
actually
Ganondorf.
that's Ganondorf. You're such a fake gamer. It is
Such a
obvious.
scrub,
Oh
man.
gosh. So yeah, so yeah, that sounds really cool. Like, cause like that's the first time that's ever happened, like playable Ganon. Like the Ganondorf's been around in Smash Brothers since 2001, but you've never really been able to play as Ganon himself. So that's pretty cool. Like I don't like Ganondorf. I think he's kind of like a really lame villain, but I think that Ganon the pig actually does have a certain amount of menace to him that like Bowser doesn't. So, well, okay, in the games, like cartoon Ganon is just kind of ridiculous.
Nobody counts that.
Or you dare bring right into my lair, you must die.
Throw
Um,
the book at him.
yeah, no,
No! Into the pit! It burns!
I've grown to like Ganon. It depends on which take you specify. Like Ocarina of Time Ganon still has that classic form. Twilight Princess Ganon is kind of weak in my mind. I'm not sure. He just doesn't show up enough. My personal favorite though is Ganondorf from Wind Waker. I
well,
thought
that's the only time they've ever tried to give him like real character development, right? Like,
I yeah, I guess so in some ways. Uh,
um,
it's
yeah,
just I don't
uh,
know, just like the desperation and it's just like legacy and I don't know. It's just that is my favorite Zelda game, and I love it each time. It's just I know a lot of people are saying like Majora's Mask is their favorites and whatnot. And I respect that, but even after playing Majora's Mask now, I know I haven't finished yet, but yeah, Wind Waker, that is my favorite. It's just such a great game.
yeah, like in this game, he's really boring, though, I think. And my biggest issue is that I really like Sia, Wizrow, and Volga as villains, and then Ganondorf just kind of comes at the end and takes over. And, I just find that disappointing. C-
It's sort of like the Sonic Adventure games in a way, where you got Eggman the entire time, and then at the end you got some sort of bigger boss. That's pretty much what Ganon is in this game.
yeah, I guess. Although, at the very least, in, like, SA2's defense, you spend like half the game playing as Eggman and the bad guys. So, if you wanted a satisfying ending, it really couldn't be either of them because you do kind of want both sides to win. So, like I'll argue that, but yeah, like Adventure 1, I think, like a lot of Sonic games, it's just like, oh, um, Sonic Heroes. Yeah, lots of Sonic games are like that, actually.
Unleashed, right? Because I haven't played Unleashed, but don't you like fight against the Dark Gaia thing? And Eggman's not really in control of that, right?
Yeah, it's basically chaos again, or Iblis again, or
Oh
so.
yeah, that game.
Eggman's
Yeah.
used the same plan like 6 times. You think he'd learn a different one? Um,
Nope.
It's game villain syndrome. Try the same plan all the times. It
well, at
never
least in
works.
Mario, they make fun of it, you know. Um, well, in the RPGs at the very least, but yeah,
Well, they
uh,
start making fun of it in colors.
uh, a little bit. Well, that's just more that game's writing than like anything, but yeah.
Yeah.
Um, uh,
Oh, there's
well,
a question for you in the chat, Catherine. Have you been able to start any new animes?
No, I haven't. The last show I finished watching was F: A Tale of Melodies, which is the second season to F: A Tale of Memories. It's based on a visual novel. Oh my gosh, that show is amazing. It's absolutely beautiful, and the story is just wonderful. And then there's a lot of in the last couple episodes. There's a bunch of throwbacks to the first season that were just it was so great. Like at one point they played the opening from the first season, and it was just so heartwarming to see it again. Except like it's a beautiful show. It's just visually does a lot of really interesting things, and it's experimental in a way that doesn't feel forced. It feels like they're doing kind of a lot of odd imagery or strange ways of showing the scene to
oh
kind
wow,
of
I got a pretty.
contrast.
Okay, sorry, I'm gonna show off and
Okay.
like say, look at my focus spirit combo there. Uh,
Dang, that's impressive.
Yeah, it ended at, I think 1,200 something. But anyway, you can continue.
Oh no,
Uh,
yeah,
Yeah,
I love F a Tale of Memories and the second season of F a Tale of Melodies. So
I've
that was good.
I've
I haven't had
not
a chance to start them
I've
yet. So
not heard of that one. I don't think at the tele. Is that is that the one where they play? They're it's the pianist.
um, there's a violinist is one of the main characters in a second season. I think
Hmm.
there's someone who plays the piano. I think, but it's not a huge part of the story.
No, that's not the one I'm thinking of. Then
The the
I
big thing about it that a lot of people remember, even though this is only half of the story in the first season, because it kind of follows two parallel stories, is there's a girl who she was in an accident and she has a memory defect, so she remembers everything up until the accident, but she can only keep memories for 13 hours.
hmm.
So it's really like it's a really wonderful romance show.
That's
Um,
good.
it's great.
I
Yeah.
the one of the more recent animes that I've gotten into, and I've already finished with it because it's not a very long show. Is No Game No Life. Have you watched that one at
Oh,
all?
I haven't watched it, but I've heard about it.
Oh
It
my
sounds
gosh,
fun. It sounds
it
like a really fun show.
it really is. I mean, it's so nice to have such intelligent but goofy characters.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what I was getting into when I first started watching it because it just seems like it's an odd opening, and then the comedy just started hitting, and I was laughing all the time, and all the different games they play are just really fun. It's just like it's so nice to have some really intelligent characters, and I mean, the first season's over. They're just, and unfortunately, it's going to be a while until we get a second season because they need to wait for the
Oh, waiting
the
for the
light
manga
novels.
syndrome or the
Well,
light novels. Okay.
yeah, it's based on light novels, so it's they're waiting for the light novels to get ahead, and it's just like I want more, but it was so good. It's the visual style is also extremely unique, and no, I yeah, No Game No Life was like definitely an anime I really got into. I see somebody in here, Roth. I think it's Raffle Master. I think it is. I'm sorry if I read that wrong. Wondering if I've watched Attack on Titan. I have. I've watched the whole thing. I have the English dub of it as well. So, um, no, I enjoy Attack on Titan.
got it as something as jigs to the egg.
My friend went to Katsucon, which is in like I think it's in either Maryland or DC area, solely to get well, not solely, but major reason was to get the an autograph from the guy who played Armin in the dub. I don't remember his name. I'm not very good with
Oh,
voice actor names. I was like,
I I'm blanket on that one. I'm usually pretty decent at it, but I forgot that one. But no, I was so happy though. I was finally able to catch up on an anime that I've been wanting to watch for a very long time, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go out and get it. It's expensive, but I don't care because I've been wanting to see this thing, and it's English dub for so long. Finally watched all of Hellsing Ultimate, and
oh yeah, I
I
haven't
mean
seen
I've watched. I mean, I've been watching, Team Four Stars Helsing Ultimate Abridged for so long, and I'm just like, I want to see this whole thing. It looks so awesome, and I finally went out and got it all, and I can't wait to see the rest of their adaptations of it. It's so good.
Well, like they're already pretty slow with episodes, and they only do Hellsing Ultimate once a year. Uh,
Exactly, which is why I couldn't wait any longer because they're starting to get into yeah. It was the first four episodes are all set up, and then the rest is just all climax, and it's so good.
how long is the show? Like
Uh,
episodes?
10 episodes, but they're all like an hour or so long.
because they're OVAs, really. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, you get some really good quality animation in there. 3D is a little iffy at times, but the actual animation is really good, and it's probably one of the bloodiest shows I've ever watched.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Have you seen Elfen Lied? That wins my award for bloodiest show.
I've not watched it, but I have read the manga, and that was different.
I mean, it's needless gore half the time. Like, there's no reason they need to show someone's arms getting ripped off.
Oh yeah,
But
just
like, there's something called cutting away that you
yeah.
can do that other shows do very effectively. Um, and yeah, the Elfen Lied's just like, no, we're gonna show you someone's arms getting ripped off in excruciating detail, and I'm like, I'm
Um,
gonna go cry now.
Derek, have you ever played 9 hours, 9 persons on doors?
Yes, I have actually.
Okay. I think. I think Catherine, you'd really like that. Because like you really like Higurashi. It's a similar kind of sort of kind of mystery thing. It gets a little bit kind of weird towards the end, like kind of mind warpy. But I think you'd really enjoy it because one thing it's basically a visual novel. One thing that they do is that like there's some pretty gruesome death scenes at points, but they don't show very little blood, and it's all just a description. Like it's all just the words painting that picture, so it doesn't feel
Yeah.
needless, but it also has that effect of like, oh fuck, that guy's not just dead. His like entire his like he's is like his intestines are rolling across the floor and like, oh yeah, snake. Oh man, no, not that snake. Ugh, oh man, freaking
Yeah.
internet nerds.
Let's see. We're getting a bunch of different anime questions on shows that we've watched. Like I saw a couple. Like have you seen? Like I saw. I swear I saw one earlier that said, "I have watched Soul Eater." I've just started actually watching Soul Eater because that's a strange story. I got into a nostalgia phase recently, and one of my favorite things back in the day was AMV Hell 3. I'm not sure if either of you guys have ever watched that, but
Oh, I've
basically it's
watched AMV Hell, maybe not three necessarily, but Ryan showed me a few of those. Um,
the original, the first two AMV Hells are very short, but and they're sort of experimental. Three is where I think they really hit their stride, although a lot of them are hit and miss. And I got into a lot of different songs because of that. I like finding songs that way because I sort of get into it. And I somehow got into the craziest freaking band I've ever heard in my life that way. Mindless Self Indulgence. Have you guys?
Oh my gosh, I showed you, Ted. I showed you that. That's the one for the from the Nyankoi AMV.
what?
Uh,
The Nyankoi AMV. They
Uh,
that. Did you see the Nyankoi AMV, Derek?
I no, I don't. I haven't. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not sure what
It's an
Nyankoi
awful.
is.
It's like an
What?
awful show, but sorry, I just
No, that's okay.
heard that. That's the only reason I've heard of that band, Mindless Self Indulgence, because I saw an AMV with one of their songs. I think the song's called like Never Wanted to Dance.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've heard that one, but yeah, no, I got into some of their songs because they were so damn catchy, but they're so freaking wrong. I mean, they're just non PC is all get out. But what do you expect when your main your lead singer is called Jimmy Urine? So,
like
uh, it,
exactly what I imagine it is, right?
he actually had a role in bringing it back to video games just for a bit. He actually had a role as a boss in Lollipop Chainsaw.
Oh, really? Oh my God.
Yeah, so that was kind of funny, and I think he did a little bit of the music. I'm not sure on that one, but yeah, no, I was watching AMV Hell, and then I remembered Mindless Self Indulgence. I was like, okay, I'll watch this stuff. So I started looking up just the songs again because I didn't have them on my iPod any longer, and I found one that was matched up to Soul Eater, and it was this crazy. Uh, there was this crazy scene where apparently the main girl Maka gets infected by this black blood and she goes absolutely freaking insane. And I fell in love with all the different animations of like her eyes and the mouth movements and whatnot. It was like did a really great job of showing the insanity. I'm like, all right, I got to actually watch this show now. So I actually I've watched the first 5 episodes so far, and I'm liking what I've seen so far. It's definitely goofy, but I'll probably keep watching it. So I'd say Soul Eater is my next anime.
Excalibur, Excalibur. Uh,
Also, so I can understand that reference from Ryan.
that's just because of Ryan. I know that part, but that's about it. Again, like my exposure to anime is relatively limited. Me and Catherine are gonna finish up Higurashi one of these days. Um,
Very close.
yeah, we are getting pretty close. Other than that, it's mostly just stuff I watched on TV. So Pokemon and Kirby for the most part. And like, I love the Kirby anime. Like recently, I showed both of you guys this clip, but I found there's a clip from an episode where like this guy has these minifigures in his store, and they're based off of people who live in the town, and one of them's Meta Knight. But his figure is really really rare because they only put a few of them inside of the boxes. So they tell Meta Knight, and he's like, "So they think my figure will be popular. I like that." Oh man. Oh man. On point. Kirby right back at ya. On point.
Um, Someone asked about whether any of us have played the Danganronpa games or watched the anime. I haven't played either of the games, and I've basically heard that the anime is not a very, like, I think I've heard it's not a particularly good adaptation of the visual novel. And also the funniest thing, which is that in the death scenes, for some reason that I don't know if they, as ever been explained, they make everyone's blood electric bright pink.
See, I
So
actually have watched the anime, and I kind of got a kick into it, but I have no reference back to the actual uh, game, so it might be completely different. But yeah, it threw me completely off. I thought it was just a censoring thing if they made the whole the blood pink,
yeah.
because it was so odd. But I still kind of got into the style.
Uh,
Uh,
the the thing about Danganronpa is that people assume, like, people a lot of the time says you like Ace Attorney, so you'd like Danganronpa. Like, I get that, yeah, they're both visual novels, but that doesn't mean I'm necessarily gonna like both series, because I don't like. Oh, you like books? That means you like every book. No, that's not
well, I think they're
that's
going
not.
for it because it has trials as well. It's a
I
visual novel with trials, so it sort of combines 999 and Ace Attorney. So maybe that's why they think you'll like you think they think you'd enjoy it. You
yeah,
know, it
but
just has
it's
to get on a system that people will play.
the thing is, it's a little bit. I think from what I can tell, it's a little bit too supernatural for my taste, and also it looks like, I've already played 999. I've already played Ace Attorney. I've just never had an awful lot of interest in Danganronpa. Like, I don't know. It's just, yeah, and also the fact that it's on like Vita does not help because like,
Yeah.
seriously.
I don't have a Vita, so that's part of the problem. Like, if I had a Vita, I'd pick it up,
No, I
but
tried
I
out if I
don't
had a
currently
Vita.
have a Vita, so.
Yeah.
Someone said the blood is pink because it's censored in Japan. I don't understand the whole censorship thing because, I mean, I've seen anime that have plenty of blood and gore in them, so I don't understand why Danganronpa. And maybe it was for a rating thing. I mean, I think to an extent it just ruins your immersion if someone's
I
getting, like, I'm supposed to be like, oh my god, somebody's getting killed, and I'm like, oh my god, who threw pink paint on them?
I think it's like a time. It might be a time slot thing, but the biggest example I've seen of censorship in Japan so far is I was watching the first season of Tokyo Ghoul, and when you get to the last episode, it gets extremely bloody, and they just censor everything by having these like really dark black shadows over everything. Now, when you get it on DVD, eventually all those will be gone. You can see everything, but for the television
Yeah.
broadcast, they censor the heck out of it, and um, I can't blame him because it's pretty much the entire like last couple. I think the last two episodes of season one of Tokyo Ghoul is pretty much nothing but torture scenes. So
Yeah.
it makes sense for them to start censoring some of that stuff because it gets, oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, torture. Woo! Family friendly fun times.
Oh, this is not
Well,
a family friendly show.
Seikon no Quasar had really weird censoring because there were just entire scenes where, like, on TV, like, no, they can't show someone sucking someone else's breast. So they'll just cut to, like, background, and all you hear is, like, the sound of someone sucking on someone's breast. Or,
Well, if you
like,
wanted this to
oh
be on
god,
TV,
oh!
why did you make that a fucking plot point?
I
Like,
don't
Well, I think it
understand.
was a manga first. I think I've heard of this. This
It
is the
is a manga.
one where it's like based on like Russian Catholicism or Russian something like that, and
They don't
it's
understand the distinction between Russian Orthodox Church and Catholicism, so they just mash them together,
yeah.
basically.
So all the main characters draw their power from breastfeeding, which is just freaking weird.
yeah,
Yup. It's
it's a bizarre.
symbolic because the baby Jesus nursed at his mother's breast and something, and my problem is I could maybe take that symbolism slightly seriously if it wasn't for the fact that whenever they do the breast sucking thing, the female character acts like she's having an orgasm. And I'm like, you just
course.
completely ruined any legitimacy that this was like some kind of symbolic nurturing thing.
I think the fact that every woman has like size F boobs, like kind
You
of.
forgot about Hana
Uh, uh,
Yeah.
and Fujiko, I forget the little girl who's like, you should stop bullying, Mafuyu-san, and then they're like, shut up, Toilet-chan,
okay.
because apparently one reading of her last name is Toilet, like
Looks
the
like
kanji in her name.
it looks like our sound is still a bit low according to some people, Ted.
Ah. All right. Well, okay. I'm gonna have to again. Like I don't have too much control over that. I've done everything I can. So the best I can do is lower myself, and then you guys turn your volume up. So
All right. I really don't want to mess with these settings, but I'll do it anyway.
no,
Uh,
don't bother with them. With
no,
them.
I'll turn it. I'll turn the line up and just I'll try to keep an eye on. Okay, about the second bar there. I'm gonna crank mine up all the way. So is this better, guys?
Yeah, you seem a little bit louder now.
I'm gonna see. Wait, how does this work? Oh, there we go. I can like drag this
Hopefully
thing.
this is better.
Yeah,
Okay, there.
you're louder now.
Okay, well,
Derek.
hopefully that's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. You gotta hear this really simulated conversation about the weird ass Japanese animes.
Boobs.
Well, Sia is on screen. Well, it was on screen. Uh,
Okay, yeah. Okay, so I think I'm only one or two. Well, I think I'll only do one more mission with Sia because like I want to get Ganondorf done too. So yeah, she's because Sia's already at level like 190, so that's
yes.
actually pretty good, all things considered. So do,
Hmm.
um boop, doo, doo. I always like for some reason I need everything to be the same number when I like I don't want to say I'm being OCD about it because that's like not what OCD is, but like I want everything to be an even number. So yeah. Okay, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Derek, Ted, you saw like one episode of Code Geass. I have not yet watched Code Geass, but it's on my I should watch eventually list. Have you
I
seen
have.
Code Geass?
I have both seasons of it, and it's
Nice.
actually. I remember watching a little bit. Like I actually, it was kind of interesting because I was able to go to Japan for my college graduation as sort of my gift from my parents since I was, I think the first in my family to graduate college. So they're like,
Oh wow.
do
Oh,
this, you know. I'm like,
congratulations.
what are you gonna do? My sisters also got stuff, but they didn't pick trips. They got like I think they picked like the same type of value just on cars. And I was like, no, I want a freaking trip. I want to go to Japan. And when I was in there in Japan, they actually was showing season two towards the end of it. I'm like, what the hell is going on in this show? And it makes sense when you actually watch it. I mean, it's one of those weird shows where if you think about it too much, it's not great. But if you're just going along with the ride, I think it's a lot of fun and I really enjoy it.
Well, the
Uh,
show kind of is based around a plot hole where the guy's power is to give anyone an absolute order. So all he
mhm.
would have to do is give them the order to follow his orders, and then he'd be fine. You know,
I'm
like
I'm guessing they explain that in show. I'm guessing there's some clause to it that no, you
Well,
can't be like
no,
do
it's
everyone.
described as in absolute order, like they must follow it, like no matter what. So,
do you guys care about spoilers?
Yes,
maybe the
Okay.
chat would.
I do.
Uh,
Okay. I won't say a thing. It does get addressed,
oh, it
but
does.
in a way that's yeah, not in the way you're hoping, but it does get addressed. So that's all I'll say.
Well, I guess it is kind of one of those things like, why don't you wish for more wishes? You know, like that you just, I think you kind of have to roll with for a show like that, but you know.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly. You just turn your brain off
Yeah.
and whatnot. But no, the English voice cast is excellent, and the reason I got into Code Geass is because of Purple Eyes, his Code Geass abridgment or mint or Code Mint, I think it is. And oh my God, that guy is so psyched out, but he is so freaking hilarious. If you can't tell, I'm a bit of a fan of abridged series.
My favorite, I love DBZ Abridged. That one's my favorite by far. I also really like, I don't stray too far. Like I love DBZ and I love Yu-Gi-Oh. abridged, but like other than that, I haven't seen too much of them. Um,
I
I
saw the Attack on Titan abridged, and I really liked that because I'd seen the series, and I was like,
You don't need to have watched the series to enjoy either Attack on Titan or Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, I'd say.
No, you
Uh,
don't. And
got-
because again, Attack on Titan Abridged was my introduction to the series, and I started watching. I'm like, holy crap! They got 5 episodes down to the 20 minutes. Like, it's one of those things where the bridge series ends, and I'm like, well, shit, I gotta watch this now because of the way it ends.
yeah.
like
Well,
I've
people complain about the pacing for the Attack on Titan, so I guess that could, like, depending on how you view the pacing, I guess you could make an argument about whether
uh,
Yeah.
that's legitimate or not. But
Catherine, do you mind doing me a quick favor? Can you go into your Skype audio options,
okay.
um, and turn up your mic feed a little bit, because like I can now you're kind of audibly quieter than Derek.
Yeah, I
Okay.
cranked mine up the entire way. Do you know where to go, Catherine, for it?
Yeah, audio settings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tools,
Mine
audio
mine is
setting.
at the end of the slider now. So
Okay.
Oh, let me turn mine down bar then.
Yeah. Okay. You're already sounding a little bit louder, so it should be good.
okay.
Is
Uh,
this? I turned mine down. Is this better? Are we
yeah,
moving?
you were just you were like almost like a little bit too loud, like your audio quality was starting to go down, so
Oh, okay.
um like I wanted, like, it's important that people hear you, obviously, but like I also want you to like, oh crap, I accidentally took a magic full instead of the small magic. Damn it. I hate when I do that. But yeah, I wanted to make sure that you sounded good too.
Yeah.
So, um
I'm seeing a lot of questions of like which ones I've seen now. I'm trying to okay. Let me try to think of all my Abridged series that I've watched or watched now. It's of course everything by Team Four Star, Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge, Code Mint, Null Metal Alchemist, Pokemon Abridged. Um, uh, what the hell is it called? It's the abridged series of Black Lagoon, and I think Dark Swamp is what they call it. What else did they? Um, all the Purple Eye stuff. So when I say Code Mint, I mean his One Piece abridged and his Soul Eater stuff, which my God, that stuff is hilarious. I think that pretty much does it for all my abridged series, but. I don't really stray too far from those. I sort of stick with the actors I like because I know their quality and is always up to snuff. So I'm always a little hesitant to branch out beyond that.
no, that's fair.
Yeah. Have you watched Rail Horse? That was a one shot abridged thing that this guy who also did Ava Bridge, Evangelion Abridge, he
Mm-hmm.
did for Rail Wars, which was I think it was summer 2014 anime. Um and that was hilarious, and that actually got me to watch this series, which was just incredibly stupid, but like just a good thing to like turn your brain off and just laugh at because it
Yeah,
was pretty stupid. But
it's amazing how like AMVs and the abridged series can actually get you interested in these shows.
Even like shows that are like
yes.
being made fun of, you're like, okay, I've gotta. I think it's kind of like how the room, like people like they're like the nostalgia critic making fun of the room. All that did was give Tommy Wiseau a new source of income. Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean that's how I found out about like a bunch of my favorite anime. I found out about
you were just about
from
to say, you said you were about to say Seikon no Quasar, and
I
you're
was about to give that as an example, yeah, as
that
like an
is
anime where
that's not
it's
one of
not a
your
good
favorite
example.
animes, though.
It's my favorite. It's one of my favorite guilty pleasure animes. Um, but I would say like I mean that was like I saw in an AMV and I was like I don't know what this one is, but like why are her boobs jiggling all the time? Like
The
this is supposed to be a really dramatic scene,
I
but
just it just makes me think of Spoonie in his review of the Dead or Alive movie, and he's like, he's talking about the games. It's like I think we've discovered the secret to perpetual motion. It's in their boobs. Oh God. I'm. What did I see? I saw a lot of them are asking us about Korra and whatnot.
I've
Oh,
Car.
oh, and of course the speaking of bridge series, uh, Takahata 101, a guy who plays Nappa, is using his Nappa voice as one of the character voices in Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse.
Oh wait, they got him to be Nappa in an actual Dragon Ball game.
No, not quite. You can do a customizable characters, and I think there's like 13 different voices. He's I think voice number I can't remember if it's 7 or 11. I don't go figure why those numbers are in my head. Um, and he actually basically plays Nappa. He does all the like these joke versions of all the moves that they all do, and it's like basically him just acting like Nappa, just being insane, and
I
it's
am hilarious, and you will quote everything I say.
voice a thank you Justin Wing is cool. Yeah, so that's kind of cool that they actually like because they're friends with the guys at some of the guys at Funimation. Like they hang out with Christopher Sabat and a bunch of the actors when they go to cons and stuff. So it's kind of cool that they actually got one of them in to play one of the characters.
That is like, oh my gosh, it's come full circle. Are they even allowed to be like a fan-based parody anymore? Like, I don't even know, man. Uh,
I've always hoped for like a DVD release of Dragon Ball Z Abridged and like get the approval of Funimation and Toei, so they can actually make it happen. Because I'd buy the hell out of it. Actually, like get that on DVD. Oh, I'd buy the hell out of it.
oh man, me too. It's just like Dragon Ball Z Abridged has to be one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
I'm
Like they,
so looking forward to History of Trunks.
that's the one where they have an entire movie to explain how Trunks got his sword, right? Like,
Yeah, no, they basically they're saying this is like they're showing you the bad future, and where the Trunks come, the adult Trunks come, or grown up Trunks comes from, and they're showing basically everything leading up to Goku dying of his disease to Trunks going back to the past.
to play the shitty games that suck ass.
Yes. So no, that's it's actually uh, one of the best things that come out of Dragon Ball Z. That's actually like heartbreaking stuff.
Ryan really doesn't like it because all he says is that we don't need an entire movie to show how Trunks got his sword. Like that's literally how he explains it, or how he explained it to me anyway. But then again, it's also Ryan, so
I mean, it's been years since I've watched it, but I still really enjoyed it. I just because you got to see these characters, you got to see basically you know how the Dragon Balls are sort of like this reset button.
yeah.
This is your view into a world without the Dragon Balls, where like you don't like if somebody dies, they're dead. There's no bringing them back, so it makes it that stuff that happens all the much more meaningful.
Why isn't that?
Prequel though,
Yeah, it's a
does it,
prequel.
then
Sort
it
of.
kind of suffers from prequel syndrome of the none of the characters that are in the main series will be dead. That's it. I mean, you can still have a good prequel
Well, it's
despite
also
that.
the
It's more like an alt universe type thing. I'd say more than prequel. It's sort of prequel and alt universe because
uh,
because when Trunks goes back to his own time, all the characters that died in his timeline are still dead.
uh,
He's not able to bring them back to life. He just is able to when he goes back to his own timeline defeat the androids and bring peace.
the
Uh,
way that Dragon Ball Z does time travel is the multiple universe kind of thing, where when he goes back, he just created a different universe where he appeared. He didn't change what happens in his future. Like, it's I think that that's like one of the only types of time travel that makes sense. Like the fact that he shows back up in his own timeline though, like he should just appear back in a different timeline. But like, whatever. That gets confusing, like having to keep track of like 12 different timelines. But whatevs. But anyway, yeah. Um, like, yeah, I've never watched an awful lot of Dragon Ball Z. I think I was a little bit too young for it when it was on. So, um, but I can still really appreciate DBZ Abridged just because I think the jokes on their own merits are so funny. Um,
they do a great job of summarizing the show and you get all those important beats. And I like how uh, they're able to take stuff seriously. Like I was shocked when I watched the the finale of the Frieza arc, and they had this actually serious Goku. I'm like, because I'm like, okay, how are they going to make fun of this whole situation with killing blowing, Krillin getting killed and Goku going Super Saiyan? They played it straight. I'm like, holy
yeah, that
crap!
was actually like a lot of these guys actually have acting chops, which I think is very impressive.
They're starting to get professional roles too. Still minor stuff, but they are starting to get into the professional roles, and it helps that Lanny Bator and Kaiser Neko both live in Texas, which is headquarters of Funimation. So I I would not
Nice.
be surprised to see them start popping up in Funimation productions at some point.
Uh,
So
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I think that's enough Sia for now. I've got her up to like level 196, so that's probably good enough.
But you're only four away.
Yeah, but I can do that on my off time, I think.
Oh, you're on the clock right now? Okay.
Well, I also the thing is that I want to do like massive grinding on the stream itself, and I also want to get Ganondorf and Wizrow up a good deal. So, like I don't want to waste 10 minutes just getting up 4 levels. I guess is the best thing, because we've already been going for about an hour, and usually we like to keep it to two or less. So, I want to get some Ganondorf in, at the very least. Hopefully at least one or two Wizrow and maybe a Zelda. But yeah. Um, again, wait, hold on. Before I start, I want to check Sia's weapons to see if like there's anything if I can like do anything with them. Uh, sorry. You can
Oh,
ignore me for a moment.
I just speaking of, I just saw something another comment from Zelda here. Boobs and whips. I didn't realize this was a 50 Shades tribute stream. The only reason I bring that up is before we started this stream, I saw that um, the 50 Shades movie dropped like a rock at the box office. It's still number one, but I think it like dropped 76%. So it's looking to gross less than the original Twilight, which I'm like, thank God it's crapping out. People go see Kingsman. That movie is amazing. I love that movie to death. Please go see that movie.
Okay. Oh
Yeah,
man.
haven't they confirmed though that like I think someone's emailed to a listserv that I was on for my undergrad that they're gonna do the
oh,
other two books in this.
oh, yeah, they've already greenlit the other two books. But hey, as long as we can get this one to be a failure, that means the next two will be, you know, just as bad. That's all the better for it.
Yeah.
Guys, if you want to watch porn, nobody's gonna blame you if you just go and watch some porn, okay? Like that's just all I gotta say about that.
If you want to watch BDSM porn, go watch BDSM porn.
Yeah, it's out there. Like,
Watch. I've heard. I've never seen the movie, but everybody says go watch Secretary, which is basically the same thing as 50 Shades, only good.
well, as good as this concept can be, I think.
And
Like
that it
it
actually has a plot. I think.
plot quotation marks. Yeah. So yeah, it's just like I'm not gonna judge too much about like what people watch in their off time, but I'm still glad that the movie dropped.
I'm gonna
Although,
judge the movie just because like I've heard like on that same listserv, I know people who are in like there are people who discuss kinkier relationship stuff, and there's a lot of people have issues with the movie just because of it portrays non-vanilla relationships in a way that's not like not that people in the community are not happy about basically.
my philosophy is that whatever consenting adults do in their bedrooms is their own goddamn business. Um, and yeah, that's just how I feel about it. So
uh,
yes. Oh wait, hold on. I need something more Ganon-y for what if I'm gonna be playing as Ganon. Hold on. Where's Eclipse of the World guitar version?
nice. Good choice.
Well, I'm playing as Gan. Oh, I should have been playing Psycho Storm while I was playing as Sia. Okay.
Still
Normal.
love the soundtrack of this game.
Oh man, it's great. Eclipse of the Sun is my favorite song from all of 2014. It is just great. Like, oh my, Eclipse of the Sun is the one that plays in the Lenaru Valley
Mhm.
levels. That song is just absolutely spectacular. I love it to death.
I will say streaming this game, the Japanese version of this game, probably one of my favorite memories of 2014, just because experiencing all this fresh, being there with the people, hearing these songs for the first time, and honestly not understanding what the hell was going on. So I was sort of making up what I thought was going on, and honestly kind of came up with a better story when they actually did come up with. And it was just Oh god, it was just so much fun to have that experience with everybody. It made me kind of sad there wasn't more like story DLC like we got with the Sia,
Oh,
the
I
Sia
would have
deal.
loved some more story DLC. Like that would have been great. But like or like you want to know what I would have really liked? A new like battle area, like a new map to play on. Like that would have been cool too, because like I like I like these places, but they're also kind of like I know them inside and out, and I would
Hmm.
really like to have another one to sink my teeth into. Um,
Yeah, it would have been kind of nice at least for like the Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess DLC packs to get like a level based on those games. Just like one more level based on those games out of something. It just would have helped the variety so much.
I get why they did it though. I get that they didn't want anything to be like completely random other than Tingle because he's Tingle. Um, but it still would have been it still I think was a missed opportunity. So yeah.
Hmm.
Someone asked about Ted, your favorite video game soundtrack.
Oh, guys, why would you do that to me? Oh, guys, making me pick between Shovel Knight, Bravely Default, Banjo-Tooie, SA2, every Ace Attorney game. No, I refuse to answer that question. That's just mean-spirited. Why would you do that to someone?
I gotta.
Because they don't understand how much game music can mean to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
game music is that's the thing I get. I honestly I think game music is probably the thing I get most excited about new video games, especially ones in franchises that I know have great music.
I,
Um,
I know you're not a big fan of the newer Donkey Kong games, Ted, but my God, the soundtrack for Tropical Freeze is amazing. Like David Wise, like hearing him do music and knowing that he still has it, I'm like, I am so excited for him and Grant Kirkhope for that Project Ukulele.
oh, he got confirmed for
Oh yeah, David Wise, Grant Kirkhope, and one other former Rare composer. I can't think of which ones he did. Um, are doing the soundtrack for the game, and I'm just like, oh, it's gonna be so kick ass.
have they released more information about Project Ukulele recently, or
Nothing beyond that initial
I thought
like
that they were
interview.
getting. Oh, with Edge, did they release like any info during that interview, or do we just have that one screenshot? Um,
We have a couple other screenshots of like other like I'm not sure if they're enemies or just NPCs or something like that, but nothing really beyond. It just sort of gives you an idea of the style, which is is very pleasing. They did say it's going to be a 3D. It is a 3D platformer. This isn't it's not 2D. This is actually a Banjo Kazooie follow up and spiritual successor. So
yeah.
and what the great thing is, it's not a Kickstarter or anything like that. This is already fully funded. It's just they're working on it. They're going to get it out on Steam Greenlight first, and then once it's all clear and
It
uh,
the thing is that if they did make it a Kickstarter, people would have pledged. I think also, but people have kind of been burned out on Kickstarters because like I love the idea of Kickstarter, but the thing I hate is that no matter what, anything you pledge for is going to be late. I think it's something like 80% of Kickstarter things are not released on time. Like I've pledged for a lot of games, and the only one that I've gotten so far is Shovel Knight. And I have all the faith in like if I pledge to something, that's like my highest seal of approval. Even more if I like go for like something more than like I pledge more than just to get the game. But it's just it's not surprising that that these things sort of tend to run off schedule a lot of times. So, because that happens with regular game development too. Like games get pushed back all the time. You just don't hear about it as much as when you do in Kickstarter when you follow the process from the beginning to end. So, like I'm not surprised that they didn't decide to go for that route. So, uh,
yeah, I've only pledged to two Kickstarters, and that would be uh, Mighty Number Nine and Shantae, both of which I felt pretty comfortable in pledging to.
Oh, I can't
Uh,
wait for Shantae and Half Genie Hero because I absolutely adore Pirate's Curse. It is I think one of the best games to be released last year.
mhm.
Um, Oh wait, it was last year. Man, time
Yeah.
flies.
Wow.
Um, but yeah, I absolutely love Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. Risky's Revenge was one of my favorite games back when I was in high school. So yeah, like I can't wait for Half Genie Hero. Like it's great to have a game in that sort of it's I don't know like I think like the 2D animated look that they're going for will work, and it's just gonna be a great time. So um yeah, really looking forward to that one.
Hmm.
But yeah, you haven't done any Kickstarter stuff, Catherine, right?
No, I haven't. It's not like any kind of. I'm not trying to say it's not because I don't believe in these companies, especially I think like um Shovel Knight looks like a great game, and I trust Rare and Keiji Inafune's company, because I know Keiji Inafune is behind Mighty Number Nine. I don't know what his company's called. Like
Concept, I think.
Concept, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, it's not anything about that. I've just never really gotten like checked Kickstarter out. So
That's
Like
all right.
I was actually introduced to it through a webcomic actually. I really love The Order of the Stick. It's one of my favorite webcomics, or just one of my favorite comics, period. And like in 2000, like early 2012, oh man, that was 3 years ago. Um, he did a reprint drive on Kickstarter, and it ended up actually getting more than a $1 million.
Wow.
oh my
So
goodness.
yeah, so like that was my first introduction. Then Shovel Knight, I think, was the next. Because I'm gonna say it right now. There's nothing quite like the feeling of watching a Kickstarter. Really, because like if you're like really interested in the project, like I was for Shovel Knight and like Order of the Stick, that was a property that I was already familiar with, so I was willing to so like I was already on board essentially. But if you're like really into that project, like that month is nothing but like refreshing the page constantly and like watching the number. It's like playing Farmville actually. You watch the number go up. But it's kind of it's a very unique sort of sense of community that I enjoy greatly. So I'm really like I could go for I could go for like another one of those like as long as like it was a game. Like I'm not gonna just like again like I only really get excited about Kickstarter projects that are by people I trust or creators I trust, I think is the better term. So, it would have to be like, if they had made Project Ukulele a Kickstarter, it probably would be one that I did check compulsively.
Hmm.
So,
Ted, I think we need to switch games
oh,
because Edward Elric 7 just reminded us that today is the 29th anniversary of Zelda 1. So you should be playing Zelda 1 right now.
shut up, shut up. No, wait, hold on. We're on the adventure map. This is just the better version of Zelda 1.
No, no, no. I want to see you take on that game again.
Nope, not doing it. Beat
I
it
think we
once,
need to
not
see the second quest.
don't.
That's a great idea. Second
Shut up.
quest.
I hate you guys. You guys are
Oh,
dicks.
come on, Ted. That's probably one of my favorite BSCs.
Oh no, it's one of mine too. Like that was you had to be there with Matt. Like Matt's a hilarious dude.
Hmm.
So you had to be that like the and it's I like as much shit as they gave me during that commentary, like I knew that it wasn't well, okay, it was some of it was serious, but like it was
It was
all in
all in
good.
good fun.
Yeah. And like I was awful at that game. So like, I earned it. So yeah, I love that. That's one of my favorite ones too, and I'm just so glad that it's like become kind of one of the most famous slash infamous VSC commentaries, just due to how much I absolutely blow at that game. Like like it is absolutely ridiculous. Well, to be fair, the control does kind of suck ass, so there. Um, man. But yeah, so oh man, I can't. That game next year's gonna be Zelda's 30th anniversary. Jesus.
I know. Doesn't it feel like we just hit the 25th? That's
This year's
crazy.
Super Mario Brothers 30th anniversary. Um,
Huh.
and they're not doing any new Mario games this year. This
Yeah,
is
just Mario Maker. Weird.
Huh.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they announced like a collection, or
Oh, they
something.
won't do a they won't do a collection. They get too much money out of the individual sales.
Yeah, that that's true, but they did still do a reprint of Super Mario All Stars for the 25th anniversary. So, I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like that, like maybe like in a remake of something or whatnot, like something small. Um,
Yeah. Well, Catherine, I don't think I've asked you this yet. What games are you looking forward to this year?
Um, even though I haven't played Bravely Default yet, I'm looking forward to Bravely Second because Bravely Default's one of those games I just based on the gameplay being like a classic Square style turn-based RPG, I know I'm gonna like it.
Hmm.
So I'm looking forward to that. I don't. I'm not sure whether I should be looking forward to. I still think Final Fantasy 15 is probably going to come out this year, but even though I don't have a PS4 yet, I'm
Well,
looking forward to that if it comes out this
it
year.
yeah,
they
I wouldn't
now
put
now
your
Ted, they did just say that it is 60% complete. I am still completely under the impression that we're this year we're going to get Final Fantasy 15. Next year we're going to get Kingdom Hearts 3.
Kingdom Hearts 3. I agree.
Please, dear
Oh,
God, let
okay,
me
and
get
then
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Duke Nukem will come out in a timely time frame as well, huh?
Duke
Yes,
Nukem already
actually,
came out years ago.
I
no,
know.
you got to switch it up. It has to be Half Life 3 now.
Half-Life.
Yeah.
Okay. Am I the only one that thinks that Duke Nukem Forever actually took away more from the gaming industry than it brought by coming out? Cause like we lost the best running gag in all of video gaming when that game came out.
So I never cared. So
Yeah, I didn't. I think by the time I knew that Duke Nukem Forever was a thing, because I just never. I knew nothing about the series. By the time I knew that was a thing, I think the game was out. So,
It was
like,
just, the fact that the game never came out was, I think, just a really funny video gamer running gag. And, the fact that it came out and ended up being awful, shock, shock, um, kind of took away uh, more from the gaming community than, just not existing in the first place would have. Also, Derek, pick again, Dwarf Armor.
what are my choices?
All of them.
I uh let's go let's go Ottawa's remains.
Oh, oh,
is that the mask?
yeah, that's
Oh,
the
oh, that's just a mask. Okay, I'm not
No, no,
actually.
no. It's gonna be a funny mask, probably.
it's the mask of the first boss from Majora's Mask.
Yeah, no, I
So
beat him today. Now let's go if either that or the Twilight armor.
you know what? I like the Twilight armor. I think it's like out of all of the extra like DLC armors, I think
Oh my
that's the
god,
one.
that's amazing! That freaking mask.
Oh
Oh
man,
god.
some of the masks are hilarious. I've almost got all of them. I've got three more missions left, and then, well, actually, technically four because I only B ranked one of Zelda's missions. But three more missions, and then I will have completed the Majora's Mask DLC, which will actually I think be the quickest I've ever beaten a map. Like Master Quest took me longer. Twilight Princess definitely took me longer. The original adventure map took me a while.
I'm
So
guessing it's the XP potion that's helped a lot.
not just the XP potion, although that did help a lot. I think it's mostly just because by this point, like I know almost all of this game, so
Okay.
I kind of know how everything works, and like I'm still getting new information. Like when somebody told me how to beat Darknuts and install masters quicker, that's made my further romps even easier because like they're now like if I ever run into a stall master or Darknut, like they're gone within seconds. So um
Nice.
uh
Oh,
thank you stream
go
people.
going back to your question about games I'm looking forward to. Another game I'm looking forward to that I don't think only know about because I love Higurashi so much is they're making a PS3 game with I think it's like basically a new version of the Higurashi games. The Higurashi games, the original one was a PC game, and the art on that looks pretty awful. And then there was a PS2 game and four DS games. All of these released only in Japan. But because those consoles are the PS2 and DS are region free, I can I might end up importing the DS games. But the problem is I can get the first two for relatively cheap, but the third and fourth one are ridiculously expensive for some reason. But there's going to be a PS3 Higurashi game, and I think it's going to contain all the content from the DS games as well as some new content. Because this kind of the story structure means that it's the kind of story where you can add new content to it and have it be like interesting, I think, potentially. So that's a game I'm looking forward to. Hopefully I'll be able to import it without it costing me an arm and a leg.
If
What
we're
games are you know more about this kind of stuff, Derek, because of what you do? Like, what games are you looking forward to this year?
Oh
Splatoon,
man,
Splatoon.
Splatoon's high on my list. I really can't look. I really can't wait for that. That one, just the visual style, is just looks so much fun. Woodley World, I'm looking forward to.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. That looks so cute.
It does. Batman Arkham Knight, I think is. I'm can't wait for that one because I love the previous. I even enjoyed Arkham Origins to a degree. I mean, it's definitely not as good as the other two, but I still enjoyed it, if only for the story. Let's see what else. Of course, Zelda. Can't wait for the Zelda.
It's
Codename.
not coming out this year, I think.
No, apparently since I said it was not coming out this year, it's actually not coming out this year. Although I think I broke my curse, because I said that the Rayman leak wasn't real, and then like within like minutes of me saying that, the guy released his video explaining how he made the Rayman leak. So
Oh
I
my
think I
god, that
broke
whole
my curse.
situation.
I think I broke my curse. I think I broke my curse. So yeah, Zelda is now actually not coming out this year. Suck it.
Yeah, I that whole Rayman thing, like everyone was talking about it. Like, do we do a discussion on it? Should we talk about it? What do you think? Is it real or not? I can't. It looks
You
pretty
guys have
decent.
talked about shadier leaks than that one, though.
Yeah,
Like,
we
you've
have.
talked about one that was just like a NeoGAF post, and anyone can write those.
Yeah,
Literally anyone.
yeah, that's very true. But it was so hard to suss out some of these, and just trying to debate whether or not it was going to be real. And yeah, so we pulled the trigger on that one. And then the video came out, and to me, I'd never seen anybody fake video before. I know they didn't actually have the character on screen, but I was like, you know what? Might as well update it. And I was like, you know what? I'm convinced now. And then, of course, as soon as I say I'm convinced, it's fake. And I'm like, bravo. Just bravo.
It was a
Take
very
that
good.
video down. It never existed. No, I'm kidding.
To be fair, it was a very good. It was a very good leak. Like,
Oh, yeah.
the guy designed it with the intention of it being able to fool anybody.
Well,
So
have you just the steps he took to make it seem like a fake is the really impressive part. One, the actual fake itself, and then two, the way he rolled it out to make it seem like a fake. Like he did his research, and he's a really nice guy. And I actually checked out his um, artwork for he did a Klonoa, like what if Klonoa was in Smash Brothers, and that model that he came up with, just like the Rayman model, looks so damn good. Like I'm actually looking forward to more of his series because the style just looks like it would fit so well with Smash Four, and I'm curious
uh
to see what else he would come up with.
has he done any other? Oh, come on. Sorry. Has he done any other characters?
Just so far, just Klonoa and Rayman.
Okay.
And he's working on his third right now, I believe, because he's getting a ton of requests.
Well,
Uh,
if he wanted to to gain some popularity by doing that, it
mission
worked.
mission succeeded. I think he started at like 500 subscribers, and now he's at like 25,000 or something like that. Like, you want to talk about a jump?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Although I wonder how many, like, I'm pretty sure there's a significant amount of people who are like pissed off, but I think, at that point it goes to I'm not even mad. That's just amazing status for me.
Hmm.
I would have loved Rayman to be in Smash. I think people say that like he's not like worthy or whatever, but like Rayman's a more popular character than Shulk, so not to say anything bad about Shulk, I'm just saying that Rayman would fit. Don't get your pitchforks. No, drop them, please.
Shots
I'm, I'm,
fired.
I'm waiting for your LP of Xenoblade Chronicles X, Ted.
uh,
100%.
I am gonna be getting the Xenoblade remake. I'm gonna try to beat it, but like
Well,
it
you should
have.
just get it for collector's value because who knows how rare it's going to become. Same with X.
Oh man. I'm hoping that Nintendo's gonna learn their lesson and like actually make enough of the crap. Uh,
You have been paying attention to the amiibos, correct?
what? I'm sorry.
Oh.
Meta Knight's just staring at me a little bit too much in order for me to. Like, it's weird. Meta Knight, no matter what direction you look at Meta Knight in, he's always staring at you. He's like the freaking Mona Lisa. Um, it's ridiculous. But yeah, like I am gonna the funny thing is that the Xenoblade remake comes out the day after my birthday, which is just weird. But yeah, I'm gonna get Xenoblade. I might get X, but I don't think it's like I have wanted to beat Xenoblade for a really long time. It's just it's been a matter of the game so long and I don't have the time. So the summer is usually a pretty dead space for games, so I'm gonna be able to play it then. Along with Devil Survivor 2 Break Record, which I've been waiting for like forever. Um, but yeah, so I'm gonna play it like I can actually like say that I've beaten it. It's just yeah. If the game wasn't so stupid long, I wouldn't have had this issue in the first place.
Yeah. What about actually I was just listening to your what kind of games you're into and what the whole anime thing, Catherine. Are you going to be picking up Persona 5?
I haven't played Persona 3 and 4 yet, but I those are definitely games I want to play. I'm it's just so hard to get through a backlog of RPGs
Oh,
because
no, I understand.
RPGs take a lot of time. But
uh,
I
so
completely
probably
understand.
eventually, because I really like I like Catherine, and I like that the art style for Persona 5 looks similar to Catherine, so that'll be
well,
cool.
Atlas reuses a lot of people for each of their games. Like if you've played an Atlas game, that you'll recognize every single voice actor. Um, um, like because I was like because I was watching the Catherine stuff for Brain Scratch, and I was all like, why is why is Gabriel Cunningham in this bar now? And he was just he was just the same actor doing the same voice for a different character. Um,
Well, that's
uh,
not bad. I don't mind that if the actors are good. Then hey,
hey, Trauma Team is one of my favorite games. So oh man, we need a new Trauma Center, but yeah, you've got what's this called? You've got the Personas 3 and 4 and SMT4 in your backlog, right? Um,
Yeah, I
yep. From for
oh,
yeah.
for both of us. Yes. Uh, no, it's as Catherine said, it's so hard to go back and play an RPG and you know sit down and focus on it, especially since life's kind of busy anymore. It's hard. It's sort of funny. Ever since starting up this job, I probably play games less now than I ever have, which is kind of depressing in a way because I want to play, but sometimes you just got to force the time because I found time to play through all of Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. So,
yeah, you just can't do other things that you might want to do, like like I've basically dropped watching TV entirely. Um, Like there's no shows that uh I'd really want to watch, or at least want to watch more than I'd want to play such and such game most of the time. So
Mhm.
yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, you haven't picked which Oh wait, you wanted to do FF9 next.
Yeah, cause I played at least like I think I got over halfway through FF9 years ago, and then I don't remember why I stopped. It was probably one of those things like where I was playing it on vacation, um, either like winter or summer vacation, and then I went back to school and like schoolwork kicked in, and then I had to put it down and never picked it up again. So I want to start fresh, cause I want to beat FF9, cause I know Ryan recorded it for BSC. I'm pretty sure he mentioned this. I don't think that's
Yeah,
okay.
that's not anything
Kind
new.
of too late, but
No, no, I'm actually in the same boat. As like I have all these RPGs I should play, but Final Fantasy IX is my favorite my favorite Final Fantasy, and I'm like, I wouldn't mind replaying that once, so I have a little bit more familiarity while watching you guys' playthrough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I need a that game is too long for me to
See,
not play.
part of the reason I want to play it also is I feel like if I start playing it, maybe that will motivate Ted to play it, so we
Well,
could be like playing it side by side. Because I want Ted to know I don't want Ted to be the like I don't know what this game is. I mean, you kind of know what you watched H.C. Bailey's LP, so you won't be like completely blind to it.
I
But
wa the thing is I watched that LP like 2 years ago. So, yeah.
like you know who
well,
Kuja is. You know how wonderfully flamboyant he is.
well, you guys are friends, so you can. I assume you live nearby each other if you're friends. Uh, you,
Friends.
only closer. No, Final Fantasy IX actually does have a multiplayer mode. If
The
you hook up
what?
a control, yes, if you hook up a second controller and you go into the options menu, you can assign different characters to that controller. So Catherine could handle two of the characters, and you can handle the other two characters. Now,
I
the
did
only
not know this was a thing.
yeah, it's sort of like no, very few people do. So it's sort of like this secret multiplayer. But here's the problem: it's only for battle mode. Of course, you can't. The second player can't do anything when you're not battling. So
Uh, I feel like if I was gonna play an RPG multiplayer, it would be either Secret of Mana or a Tales game.
mhm.
Yeah.
Because like we both need to play Tales of Xillia, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
we might do that. We should probably do that at some point.
Yeah.
what's
Catherine.
fun about that one is that you guys can do different characters. Yeah. One of you picks one character, the other picks the other, and like trade notes of like, okay, what happened at this part at this point?
Yeah. Um well, one game that was fun to play, like it's a different sort of RPG, but we had a lot of fun trolling around in Fantasy Life
Oh yeah.
multiplayer.
Oh yeah, that was
That was a lot
fun.
of fun. That was a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Okay, hold on a moment. I need to see if there's any. Nah, I'll just stick with the grinding weapon I have for Wizrow. What time is it right now? Uh,
9:30,
okay, I
nine
think we're
thirty-five.
gonna be going for just a few. Okay, I cannot have this music with Wizrow. He is not badass enough for this. Um, I think we're gonna be doing two, maybe three more missions, guys, and then we're gonna call it a day. Just because I don't want to like I don't want to be going too long, I guess is just the thing. We all
Wait, you
have.
got something to do on Saturday night?
Well,
fun.
you don't have to rub it in, man. Jeez.
Oh no. Well, here's the fun part. I just as we were getting ready to do this whole thing, I got a message from Andre. It's like, so is there any way you can have that video ready for tomorrow morning? Crap. So guess what I'm going to be doing as soon as we're done with this.
Going to
Aw.
bed.
Nope. Time for me. Thank God it's short. I'll say that much. If it wasn't short, there's no way to be done. But with it being short, I should have it ready for the morning. So that'll be good.
Woo! Running in circles. Yeah. Woo! Wizrow is a surprisingly good character though. Like he's kind of like a little imp in the game, and that's why I love him. Like he's
Mhm.
just kind of like a little piece of shit. But like he's like really capable. It's like really kind of shocking. I still think my favorite of the three extra characters is probably Volga to play, but Wizrow is still really good. Like I think my personal ranking is Volga, Wizrow, Sia. Which I think is like the complete opposite of yours. Like I know you liked Volga the least out of the three extra characters, Derek.
Well, when I did my initial playthrough, I just, Volga just seems so standard compared to the other two. And I think that's why I didn't gravitate to him as much during that initial playthrough. I mean, they were all. I mean, going back and playing them, they're all great characters.
Yeah, they're three of the
That,
best characters in the game, which is
yeah,
why I'm surprised they aren't in the main pack. But better late than never, I suppose.
yeah. My two least favorite characters are still Agatha and Rudo.
Agatha, Rudo and Fire actually tied for me. Um, like I do not enjoy Fi at all. So you know, um, maybe that's just me, but I really don't like Fi. Um, like, cause I've kind of gotten used to Rudo, and her damage isn't bad. It's and like that thing that she has, the little water wave thing. Who's it? That's a really good attack. So like she's got more.
It's her standard attacks that I'm not a fan of, where she just has no forward momentum, and it's so easy for her to like if just come up short,
Yeah,
and you can't make up that distance if you come up a little. Your aim is a little off, and you come up short, and it's just I don't know, bugs the heck out of me. But it's that's personal taste.
yeah. But yet she's not one of my favorites either though. I'm not trying to say that she's like great. She's No, that is not true. It's a shame. Like out of all of the unlockable characters, Agatha, Rudo, Girakim, my favorite is easily Zant. Zant is nuts. Um, did you play much Zant when you played or
Oh yeah, I played quite a bit of Zant, and no, I've he was a little weird to get used to at first, but I actually I did end up really enjoying him. It took a little bit to understand like exactly how to use him the most efficiently, but once you did, he's actually pretty brutal.
Yeah, the same thing with Lana and the Portal. Like, I hated that weapon as first, and like now it's still not my favorite. But like, now that I figured out that you can what's it called? Pair up the um you can pair up the monsters with the combos. Like you use her standalone strong attack in order to prepare a monster, and then you use that monster's combo. Um, like now that I know that you can do that, it's actually pretty usable. Like there are some really cool. I think the thing about it is that there's some really cool combos you can do with that. Like when you do the stronger version of the Agorok combo, Lana flies on Argorok like a surfboard as he shoots fire down upon everybody on the field, and it's just absolutely devastating. And so, I guess maybe that's probably why it's still way too slow for my liking, and you don't get the shield that protects you from damage until after the second half of the combo begins. So you still leave yourself a little bit too open in my eyes, but it's a much better weapon now that I know how to use it. And somebody who was, and I figured out how to do it during a stream thanks to somebody's comment. So I think it was Flames Head something. I can't
Flame's
remember.
Head Hero.
Yeah,
Oh
that.
yeah, I'm familiar with him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They give a lot of good tips on the game. They seem to know it pretty well.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's really great to like learn new things about a game that I've already put hundreds of hours into. I guess it's kind of like finding out Easter eggs in a game that was an old favorite of yours. Stuff
Yeah.
that you never knew.
Mhm.
Um,
No, I
like
think
I
John had a lot of that experience with Final Fantasy VII when he was doing his live streams.
I haven't watched it just because I'm gonna play 7 at one point, and I wanna like I know like all of the major spoilers. Sephiroth's evil, Aerith dies, and Sephiroth also has severe mommy issues, but um like I still want to kind of play that game fresh, I think. So like the game itself fresh. So like I haven't even watched an LP of 7, so you know um
Oh wow.
after I beat the game, I'll go back and rewatch it. I think his next live stream is gonna be Majora's Mask though, Majora's Mask 3D. So
Hmm.
like I'm probably just gonna watch that, or at least the replays of it, just because like I know how that game ends, and like I'm not going back to play it anytime soon. So might as well, right?
Yeah, I'd like to watch that, but I don't want to like since I'm still in the middle of my playthrough. I'm like I don't want to spoil anything for myself since I'm actually finally playing this game, and I'm like I have a feeling like he's going to get ahead of me before I'm able to actually get far enough that I feel comfortable watching his stream. So I'll have to come back to that at some point.
Yeah.
But
Thankfully, Zelda games aren't really all that. Well, I say that, and then I think about like Majora's Mask isn't really all that long. It's shorter than Ocarina of Time, even when John did. Like John's 100% playthrough of Majora's Mask is shorter than Ryan's not 100% playthrough of Ocarina of Time. I guess
Mhm.
is the best way to put it. So, um, like I know that other Zelda games get pretty long, like Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword apparently are really long games. But Majora's Mask not really. So, like I was surprised. I played Link Between Worlds relatively recently, and I beat that in less than a week. Of kind of like I think my playtime was less than 20 hours. So you know, I was surprised at how quick that game went. Because like I always kind of had it in my head that Zelda games were these really kind of long, kind of like
Mhm.
you kind of have to devote some time to them games, but it's not really doesn't seem to be that case, or at least as much of that case as I thought it was.
They're about average length, I'd say. I mean, 15 to I'd say anywhere between 10 to 20 hours, depending on the game. Uh, if you're not worrying about 100%ing it or trying to go for, let's say, all heart pieces, then you can get a little lengthy, and how much of the extra stuff you decide to do. And yeah, I mean, it's funny because I came into Zelda so late, but it became one of those it just became one of those series where I just got addicted to it because I don't know, something about the style just really hooked me, and I sort of had a renaissance with it because I remember like Ocarina of Time stands being up at in stores and trying it out and like wandering around the overworld of like I have no idea what to do. This is weird. I don't get this at all because but I know everybody was talking about how it's like the greatest game of all time. And I'm like, what am I like? What am I not getting? And then I finally was able to sit down. A friend let me borrow his N64 and try it out. And playing it from the beginning to the end, I'm like, oh, now I get it. So
It's
from that,
weird though. You don't ever see any accolades for a game like that's brand new, like Ocarina of Time. Like people back when it was brand new, people were saying it's like, oh my god, this is the best game ever made. Because like you don't see anybody say that about games anymore, like at all.
dissenting opinions are so quick to come out anymore because the internet's a lot more active than it was back in '98. So the prevailing opinions were always this is the best game ever and everything else. So that's why it, I think that's a part of the reason that happened so much. Nowadays, I might have really enjoyed BioShock Infinite, but I know there's a lot of people that did not like that game at all. Same with Last of Us. I really enjoyed that, but there's a lot of people out there who's like, nah, it's just not for me. And people are so divisive on. There's so many different types of games out there, and there's not that one unifying um, genre that everybody can get behind anymore. People are so split off into FPSs and adventure games, platformers, RPGs, and it's hard for that gap to be bridged anymore. I think so.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense actually though. When you put it that way, so I shouldn't be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of it might be like the whole feeling that like everything's been done before to a greater extent than everything had been done or things have been done when games like Ocarina of Time came out.
It's
Where
weird though, because
Mm-hmm.
like I think it's just it goes to show how much games are still a developing medium in that like games are only like 40 years old, like max. Like if even if we're going back as far as like Space Command and Pong and things like that. And like people are saying we've done everything, whereas like there's been like hundreds of years of literature and like a century of movies and things, and like you haven't done everything. So I think it's just mostly the fact that we're still talking in terms of like the developing technology as opposed to the like the individual content, I guess.
you could argue though, and I'm not I'm not an English person, but you could argue that a lot of like honestly like how much has like writing's changed in some aspects as far as like going from like modernism and postmodernism and that kind of movement, but as far as like basic storytelling, like we've had very like basic general tropes of storytelling and those just kind of
It's
get
it's
respun a lot of ways, or writing reflects on current society.
yeah, that's mostly the thing is that writing is always a matter of context in like what they're trying to say about specific things. I think is the big thing. So I think eventually we'll get to the point where we get games that are gonna be a little bit more, for lack of a better word, political, and like talking more about like issues and stuff. I think that's where we're gonna see more of the oh fuck, I skipped Wizrow's ending animation. I wanted to show these off in the streams. But
That's all right. Actually, Clement's in the chat.
oh, hello, dude.
Oh
Hello.
wow.
he's he's like me in last weekend or last time you did this, come in for the last 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, so this is the like this is like the last one we're doing. So sorry, dude, but you had a starring role last week though. So yeah. Oh man, I wish that it was possible for me to have like everybody in here at once, but unfortunately, a Skype call is not like talking in a room with people. In that you can't like if you've got like 10 people in a room, like separate conversations can and will happen. But if you've got 10 people in a Skype call, that just becomes a mess. So unfortunately, like that's just not.
don't don't I know it from that Sega discussion. Eventually, some people just get stormed over.
Poor Ryan and poor. It's like it's actually been happening a lot lately where Ryan has not been saying an awful lot, and even when we're doing games he's recorded, and I feel bad. Uh, Not really, actually.
No,
Well,
I felt bad with I remember when I watched The Last of Us, and I was like, Lewis hasn't beaten the game, and he's talking more than Ryan.
I think that's just a matter of a difference between Ryan's personality and Lewis's personality. Like
Yeah,
Lewis, like when he has something to say, he's gonna say it.
yeah.
Ryan is sort of that sort of wait and spring out type of personality where if he's going to say something, it's going to be usually pretty on point or freaking hilarious.
Oh man, I love when like Ryan like comes out like randomly, like just with a random, like he'll just sort of like spring out exactly, and I'm laughing my ass off. So.
Oh, what was that reference he did? Oh, during the Super Mario Land 2 playthrough, at the ending with Wario throwing the shoe, and he did the Austin Powers clip.
Who
Oh my god, I lost it. I was just losing my shit, and he just laughing. I was just laughing so much because it was so perfectly timed.
throws
Ah,
a shoe? Honestly. Oh man.
uh,
I can't wait for cons. Man, that's gonna be all. Having con. I can't wait for MomoCon and more cons. Like, um,
you got to find some way to like record that panel you guys are having.
um, Ryan is actually. I should bring that up to Ryan at some point. Because helps staff MomoCon, so he's going to a meeting soon-ish, I think. So like he's gonna like we're gonna get a little bit more info about like how certain things are supposed to work. Um, I think that's something that we can look into. It should just be a matter of getting somebody to hold a camcorder up at the panel. That's not something where like the visuals are really too important. It's mostly just the like what we're saying that's gonna but I'd love to have that recorded and put up on the channel for everybody to watch. Because the one bad thing about cons, especially since we all live so far away from each other, like I say that and like compared to other commentary groups, we're actually relatively close.
You all
Um,
live in the same country in the same time zone, which is fortunate.
oh man, the fact that we all live in EST makes planning stuff way easier. Just for the
Yeah.
record. But yeah. Um, yeah, like we can't do cons everywhere because it's not economically feasible. Um, so like if like I would love to be able to go to like YomaCon or PAX Prime or any number of other conventions like E3 is my pipe dream. Um, um,
Well, E3 is kind of different though, because that's like I mean, as the name would say, it's
It's
an
a trade.
expo
Yeah, it's a trade show. It's
versus a con. I mean, I think what it really comes down is getting to the point slash you guys advocating for like getting to the point where you have enough viewers and you guys advocating for panels where you get to the point where they'll be like we'll pay for at least like somewhat of your expenses and then it becomes feasible.
yeah, the Momocon's paying for our hotel. We've got to pay for our own flights. Um, but they're doing our hotels, so
Yeah.
like that's easy. That's like another. That's like three. That's like a good like $400 off of our expenses. So which
Yeah.
is like ground, which is like makes it so much easier. Like
Yeah.
if we could, if we got, if we were, if we didn't, like I think we could probably like because our live stuff, shock tends to do pretty well. So like we probably would be more able to afford going to cons if if we got like not compensated but like had our at least our rooms paid for. We'd probably do a lot more cons. Yeah.
It's sort of like well the whole dynamic changed like that first time you guys together you guys clicked so well with those live playthroughs
Yeah.
and it's it was a completely different dynamic it felt so natural and I think a lot of people really connected with that so you know you got it'd be awesome if you guys found some way to like I know you don't all have the same systems but some way to get to play some kind of online multiplayer game to get that try to get that same dynamic going in some way. Like I know
Um,
you did a little bit with Smash, but
well, I do know that should all own Castle Crashers. Oh, bless you. We should all own Castle Crashers on Steam, so we could do that. Like I love that game. So like I would love doing that. There is something about being in the same room though. It has a certain energy to it.
mm,
As opposed to being online, it's just not the same. It's not the same. So like I would be down for playing something online. It's just, a matter of us all owning the game and the console it's on and stuff. Like it's more possible now. Like we all own PS3s because John gifted me his. So like if there was like an online co-op PS3 game, we could try that one. But it's again, I'd be down for that. I should talk to Ryan about it at some point.
mm.
He's tend like
I gotta say I've been going back to the whole bridge things. I watched Team Four Stars playthroughs of Evolve, which is a 5 player game. Like, oh my god, it's just that was so hilarious. Just listening to the one guy like hiding out, powering up his monster. Like, I have no interest in that game at all. But the multiplayer and them just teaming up and like going after it was so funny.
Oh, Left 4 Dead would be one that we could do. That
Mhm.
game when it goes on sale on the Steam sale, it's ridiculously cheap. I think I got Left 4 Dead, one of the Left 4 Deads for like $4.
Oh,
So
nice.
Oh wow.
like that would be a good one. Like if there's something I just like I love, I love playing video games with people. Like not even necessarily like playing video like, playing multiplayer. Like I'm just happy like, part of why I love doing these streams so much is that I can play a video game while talking to people. Talking to Catherine and whoever else I can I can tie up and gag. I mean, convinced to come join the session with me. Um, so like it's just a lot of fun to be able to do that. So I really enjoy that. So like I would be all the way down for more like live stuff on Brain Scratch. Like yeah, count me in. uh it's just it is a lot more hassle than doing it post, so that's really the big issue. um so well it's kind of weird. It's a different type of hassle where it's more like setting it up is a lot more of a hassle as opposed to like editing's usually a bigger thing and when you're doing post. So it's interesting in that way, I think.
Yeah, and
um
you guys even go easy on yourself by not really editing much.
what are you talking about? I edit plenty. You are
Right.
referring to that Ryan guy?
No, I mean like the actual commentary editing and whatnot.
Oh yeah, we all we have to do is like plop the stuff back down on the
The tracks, yeah.
yeah, because like I save all of my project files, all of my raw project files, so that like I don't even have to do anything but put them on, and then maybe do a little bit of audio balancing, and then I'm done. It's pathetically easy. Like editing the raws is a pain in the ass, but like once I'm done with that, it's smooth sailing. So
Now I saw this in the questions earlier. I know it's kind of a shame because we haven't really been paying too much attention to the chat, which is
Sorry,
sorry
chat.
about that, guys. We kind of got stuck on a couple of the questions and we just kept going off of there and getting a bunch of
Yeah.
different things.
That
Uh,
happens.
way earlier. This is just for my own ends and my own amusement. Is somebody was like, "So when's there going to be a Game Explain BSE crossover?" I'm like, "Well, there's already been a couple on my channel. I don't know about you guys' channel."
You were in like a discussion
I
vid
was in
like
that
one time.
3 or 4 hour discussion on IGN's stupid ass
Uh,
top 100 list or top 100 list
Somebody
of
from
games.
it. What surprised me the most is that somebody from IGN actually did like comment on it, like
Mm-hmm.
way after the fact, and I was like, oh shit, we can't do this anymore. Like the only reason why I feel okay about making fun of IGN is because I view IGN as this monolithic being that has no feelings. But like when I'm like, oh, like an editor that's like a real person, like watch this, I feel bad. So, you know.
So,
There's a lot of politics involved when it comes to a lot of those behind the scenes things. So I can't get too down on them in some ways, and it always just drives me nuts when people are like so anti-journalism because they don't. Even though I'm not
Well,
part of it, I
you're the
just
journalist, so that makes sense.
yeah. I mean, I understand in many ways. Like, there's a lot of really just crappy positions with a lot of that stuff, and you just don't get it. Like the clickbaiting thing, like that's totally an editorial decision. Like, there's no reason to do that those type of posts. Like the thing that was a thing that drove me nuts as far as like um, journalists being just assholes was the whole Jonathan Blow thing. You know, who guy who did
Oh, the
Raid.
wait. Oh, I thought. Oh, for some reason I was mistaking him with Phil Fish.
No, no,
What
no,
happened
no.
to Jonathan Blow?
Uh, he's coming out with his new game, The Witness. Well, he tweeted out that he did a speed run of his own game and got it done in 6 hours. And one of these sites, I forget the site that actually did it. No, Polygon. Polygon took that tweet of his and said, basically, The Witness will be a 6 hour game.
No. The
Like it's
different.
like
what?
it's, it's like no, there's a difference. It took me 6 hours as a developer to be in a speed run to beat this game. Average player going through the first time, you're going to get a lot more playtime out of this because there's a lot of apparently it's pretty open ended. And then GameSpot, of course, took that same thing and just kept expanding upon there about playtime. And it drives me nuts when people focus on how long a game is. I know Order 1886 or whatever is getting a lot of press right now because of how short it is. If the game's good, who cares? But that's the thing is the
Yeah.
game's not really sounding good. The length does not matter to me. I've gotten over that whole thing a long time ago.
Well, I think. Well, I'm gonna disagree slightly in that I do think that the length matters. In that it needs to be like you want to be able to like there needs to be enough varied content in order for it to feel satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
But and also I do think that a game can be too long for its own good. Xenoblade. But like again, like I'd rather have a really good 6 hour game than a really good 6 hour platformer than a 20 hour platformer. Like that's why I love Kirby Triple Deluxe so much is that it knows when to stop. Like it doesn't try to like that game doesn't drag very much. Like when I replayed it, like it went pretty smoothly the entire time. So, I think not being too long is a skill. Like managing game length. I think it's just a matter of price. Like
Which is why Rainbow Curse is so fine with me. It's not a super long game, but there's extra content and it's a cheaper price. So
yeah, that's totally fine. Like that's totally fine. And like to be honest, like like if you a lot of like multi like a lot of a lot of games out there, like if you only play Call of Duty for the single player, you're only gonna be getting like 6 hours out of that game, and you're paying $60. It's the multiplayer that keeps that game alive. Whereas if I Hyrule Warriors with the $60 I paid for it plus the $20 of DLC, I got like I think I'm at 300
four,
hours.
only 300. I was going to go to
Oh, I
400.
don't think I've reached 400 yet. And then, I've got Bravely Default, which I paid $40 for, and I got it, and it's an $80. It's an 80-hour game, and it varies. Like,
Hmm.
you can get a lot of game time out of something just through one playthrough or through a lot of playthroughs. So,
And as
Heck,
Clement,
I mean, look at a game like Animal Crossing or Harvest Moon. Like those games, are like a normal game price, but if you like that style of game enough, you're gonna get like
It
a
never ends.
lot of hours
It
out of it.
never ends.
yeah.
Yeah.
And as Clement brings up in the chat, he's always one shots Mega Man games. He started both Mega Man 9 and just got them through in basically one sitting, it seems like. But he just kept playing them because there is that replayability is a factor. If the game's good enough that you want to like immediately start it up and play again, that's who cares about length?
Yeah. Okay, so like I said, we were gonna end, and I'm not totally lying. Like I don't want to end like right away. Like I'm gonna wrap the things up though by doing one more mission. I'm gonna do this mission with Sia. And this is the mission where we unlock Sia's mask. So I think I'm gonna do this and then call it a night. So
Cool.
yeah, just letting you guys know. Um,
I'm going to address Raffle Master because I think he's going a bit insane.
what?
Because I haven't asked
Yeah, I see
answered his
that.
question. What was
Good.
his question again? It's been so long, I forgot. Like I just saw him.
I'm not sure either, but yeah, I mean, I'm sorry if we don't get to your questions, but sometimes we get distracted talking about things, and
Yeah.
like
Here we
I don't
go.
know if Derek has to ask FM, but like Ted does. You can always ask him things there. Like,
Do you agree with the speculation that Zelda U will be after a Skyward Sword sequel? In some ways, yes. There's a lot of different ways it could go.
No, I
Yeah,
think that it's going to be set at the beginning of the timeline again, like for the fifth time.
no, it's definitely not going to be that. Andre, when he did his analysis of Zelda Wii U, found some very interesting evidence to how it could, how certain things were structured. So it really could fit into a lot of different places. My my gut feelings here's I'm about as bad as you, Ted. My gut feelings are usually wrong anymore. Um, I don't think it'll be his direct sequel. I'm not sure where it's going to be put in the timeline. Frankly, I'm not really. I don't really care. I mean,
It
at some
doesn't
point,
matter like
it,
90% of the time.
usually it doesn't. No, I mean, sometimes you get some interesting stuff out of it, like Wind Waker or Twilight Princess, as far as that more direct connecting tissue. But with Skyward Sword going into whatever, maybe perhaps going to Zelda Wii U, maybe you can get something interesting like that. But the gameplay style is so different, and the world seems so much bigger that I'm not quite. I can see how it would work, and I can also see how it wouldn't work. So, not really an answer to your question. I'm sorry about that, but I'm basically unsure, and I have this sort of thing about just waiting for more details to see if I can actually see if I can pinpoint stuff a little bit better. But unfortunately, the details we've gotten so far just aren't enough for me to really come
You're
down to
not
one way or the
above
other.
speculation. You work for Game
Oh,
Explain.
we
oh,
we speculate all the time. It's just because speculation is fun, but I rarely come down with a definitive answer. If you pay attention, Ted.
Oh, gee. Yeah.
oh, dang.
Oh.
Wait, guys, I need to know this. Where is Hyrule Warriors in the Zelda timeline?
Completely separate.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure it's yeah,
It's
it's
not. It's they. I think they've come out and said it's not canon.
you know what, I really kind of wish that they like in the art book for Hyrule Warriors they have a design for a female Link. I wish they kept it. Like it was a pretty
I wish it would have been DLC. Honestly.
yeah, cuz like I'm part of the pro female Link camp. Like I think it would be really cool. It's really one of the only series where you can have a gender bent main character and it makes sense without being like
It
forced or
wouldn't be
convoluted.
forced.
Yeah.
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 It's just, Link got reincarnated as a girl. Like,
I think that'd be
Yeah.
really cool.
And you can
Like,
have
I'm
this
not
real
just
good
saying this
friendship
that because
angle.
I'm a feminist, but I think that'd be really an interesting take on things.
It
yeah.
would. You can have this really interesting friendship, like just pure friendship between Zelda and Link, and go from there. And just seeing this, I don't know. I like the idea of it because it's a new storytelling possibility, and I'd love to see where they'd go with it. I mean, of course, Zelda's always kind of light on plot, but that's whatever. It still could be interesting because with each new Zelda game, you say what you will, the stories have been getting a bit more interesting and a bit more involved. Like the world building in Skyward Sword is amazing. Say what you will about the game, but
Oh yeah, you're
it,
one of those people who likes Skyward
I
Sword.
do. I don't care what Ryan says. the beginning can be a bit long, but I enjoyed the hell out of playing it the first time. So
Have you gone back to it since?
I haven't gone back to it yet. I'd like to go back and play a bunch of the Zelda games like Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword and a bunch, that type of thing. But it's finding time. But I playing through Skyward Sword, I was addicted. I went throughout. I 100%ed that game, and if I'm 100%ing a game, I have to really like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Like you don't 100% a game you don't like unless you're John. uh,
Yeah. So I understand the complaints against Skyward Sword. I'm not going to deny anybody that. Personally, I just really enjoyed it. So,
how dare you like a game? Gosh.
yeah, yeah. There you go. Bring me in for your eventual Skyward Sword playthrough, and I'll just debate Ryan the entire time.
Did anybody else claim a spot in that playthrough? I think they might have.
Oh, I'm sure they you guys have. So I'm like I said, I know it'd be fun to be on those, but I have no pressure to get me on there because I know you have a huge list of people that would like to be on and probably know certain games better than I do. So
I know that the next Zelda game we are doing is Hyrule Warriors. I'm doing this game
Cool.
as soon as I 100% it, and that's when all of the DLC comes out because I want I it's weird. Like I love this game despite it having like all of the not all of the issues, but a lot of issues. Um, so like it's kind of weird, but I am safe in saying that I love this game. So
mhm.
I kind of just I want it to I want to show it off to its fullest extent, like as many of the costumes, as many of the weapons, as many of everything as I can. So it's just a matter of I'm gonna need to do some planning to get it ready to go. But like, hopefully, it's gonna be like not the longest thing we've done, but a relatively long playthrough. So like, I'm hoping to get it
Yeah.
ready, ready and out for you guys by the end of the year. But don't quote me on that because like that's not always possible. So
Are you going to make the episodes a little bit long? Are you going to be? You said before that you're going to be playing on very hard mode, correct?
hero mode, yes.
Yes. So, are you going to make the episodes longer to compensate for that? Because some of these maps can take a while.
Not when you know them as well as I do. I can beat almost every mission in this game in under 15 minutes.
Oh, there
So
you
I
go.
think I'd like to keep every part under 30, but if they need to go long, they go long. I don't want to split. I don't want to split missions up into two parts if I can help it.
Yeah, that'd be a little rough. Yeah, that was my big curiosity. There is how you're going to handle the length of a lot of these missions. They do take quite a bit. So,
Yeah, they can be quite lengthy, but um, I think I know the game well enough that I don't that won't be an issue. Um,
mhm.
Oh, if you see me ever randomly pause the screen, I'm just checking to see how much damage I've taken, because they track that now. Thank you, game. Um,
That's the other thing about to love about this game is they've updated the things that the game had problems with. Even the
That's
next
really great.
DLC, even the next update, they said they're going to address these longer load times that are happening now.
yeah, thank you, game. Like like I don't know why they shipped the update with the. Oh, I got hit by a small mook. That's just pathetic. Um, but yeah. Even though I don't know how like the update how that loading glitch slipped past them in the first place, at least they're fixing it. Um, And the update's coming out relatively soon, at least in Japan, right? Oh wait,
Yeah,
hold on.
end of the month in Japan and beginning of March for the rest of the world, I think.
It's March 12th, I think. So fuck, it's the day before Codename Steam comes out. Damn it.
Hmm. Well, they're only modes, so theoretically it shouldn't take too long. It's
But
still you could do
there's unlockable costumes is the thing.
true, and getting all your characters up to level 250 might take a little
I'm
bit.
gonna do most of that in streams, I think.
Okay.
Like once a week I'll turn on the game and just do my grinding there. So like I
Mhm.
think I could probably get a character done a stream, or maybe two characters done a stream would probably be my goal. I get that done like in over 2 months, and then I can record the game for Brain Scratch. You
There
know,
you go.
that seems like a decent plan in my opinion.
Hmm.
Uh,
Somebody on here, I'm not sure if you can say this or not, is asking what's the next game for BSC after now that Jungle Beat is done.
um,
I think Ryan mentioned on his Twitter that
it's
I don't know
Wario.
if this is the next game, but Sonic Spinball and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine were coming up soon, but
They're
I'm
coming
not
up soon. We've been having issues. We've been having some kind of behind the scenes issues that I don't want to delve too deep into it. It's nothing like there's no drama going on or anything.
It's just scheduling, I'd have to
Yeah,
guess.
it's scheduling, but like that's gonna be actually kind of an extra thing. So like the next main slot is I believe Wario Land 4. Like that's coming up on Monday. I don't feel bad about like you know because like apparently Ryan doesn't seem to care like who knows what we're doing, so like there's no real point in keeping it a secret really. Oh my, okay, that's one thing that I've been hating about this game recently is that enemies have been attacking me from behind when I have no way to block them recently.
Uh,
Um
yeah,
and
it's a problem.
that's annoying. Like it's so irritating to be like doing a combo and then suddenly it's always a Lizalfos for some reason comes from behind and does that tail swipey attack.
Yeah.
And um, where the fuck is
You just
input?
got me thinking Wario Land 4, the quest for tries to get his shoe back.
Okay, oh, hold on, I gotta beat this shield moblin who's annoying. Ugh. Are there any tricks like the Dark Nut Stallmaster trick to get them to show their weak point gauges quickly, because that would be very helpful if anybody knows those for like shield moblins or I did notice something with Lizalfos and Dinalfos in that if I what's it called? What am I trying to say? If I hit them with an arrow when they're doing like their fire breathing attack, they kind of spin around and shoot fireballs all at people, which is really
Hmm.
kind of neat. But oh, frickin' manhandle stocks. Are they gonna? No, they're targeting me. Okay, that's not a big deal. Um, um, yeah. But chat. If anybody knows any other tricks like that, please let me know. I would greatly appreciate that knowledge. Just if only it makes these last couple of missions I have left a little bit easier, you know. Okay. So hold on. All I got to do is beat Gearheim, and then I get see his mask, which will be great. I know what it is too, so I'm
You put
gonna.
the mask on top of her other mask.
No, she just doesn't have that the mask on her mask. And then she mails that mask to herself. And when it arrives, she smashes it with a hammer. No, not it's not like that. But it is actually it is a really cool mask though.
Uh-huh.
So I won't spoil it, and I'll let you guys see it. I'll close the stream out on that. Uh,
I miss you, Eartha Kitt. I love that movie.
oh man, that is like it's one of my favorite movies. Have you seen Emperor's New Groove, Catherine? Catherine?
Catherine?
She might have
Really?
muted her mic or went to the bathroom or something. Catherine?
Okay.
Okay.
We'll ask her when she gets back. We'll grill her then.
Yeah.
No, I remember watching that for the first time and just losing it at every one of those jokes. I was just like Patrick Warburton steals that show.
Oh man,
Like,
like it's just there's so many quotable lines. It's just like, how did you get here before us? How did we get here first, Kronk? I don't know. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
oh, the talks with his shoulder angel is just like, all right. First of all, that's a dress. It's not a dress. It's a.
The
I think
robe.
it's a robe. Okay.
And
Second thing. Second reason. Look what I can do. He starts
what does
doing his
that
moves like
have to? What does that have to do? No, no,
no,
he's
no.
got a point.
I love that. That is just amazing. Proper comedic timing just gets me every time, and it's just so good.
I think that's what that movie does best. Is not only having a solid script, but just absolutely amazing sense of timing. And it's mostly like there's a quite a number of visual gags, but I think it's mostly the script that offers that movie's humor. Because like I remember at the end, like when all of the animals, like when all the guards get turned into animals, like the funny part isn't the guard getting turned into the animals. To me, it's excuse me, I got turned to a cow. May I go home? You're excused. Anybody else? No, we're good. Get them!
That's always good. Oh god, I love that movie so much.
It's one of my favorite Disney movies. Okay, wait, hold on. There we go. Fan service, hoy. There. Don't say I never do anything for you guys.
I like how like her dress like flares out at the back when she goes to get the thing out of the chest,
Yeah, it's so like you'd think that they do like an upskirt shot, there or something. And wait, hold on. I
or
think
or that
Catherine.
it would fall in. Her mic's being weird right now.
Oh
Oh,
wait, there we go.
Oh,
was
Am I
it?
uh-oh.
back?
Were you just like muted
Yeah.
or something?
Yeah, I muted for a second and then I couldn't I was pressing the wrong button to unmute it for like 5 minutes.
I want to join in.
So confused because my mic has on one of the earpieces, it's got like 4 buttons, like I think one of them is like increase volume, decrease volume, one of them's play slash pause, and then a mute button. But it's like it's on a circular piece, kind of like like the stupid D-pad that's on the 360 controller that's like circular. You know what I'm talking about?
Kinda.
Okay.
Enough.
But
I know what you're talking about. Enough. But
okay. But sorry, yeah. So I was pressing the wrong side, thinking that was the mute button.
okay.
Isn't this working?
Well, you did show up just in time for the ending of the stream though, so, Woo. So anyway, yeah, it's about like 10:20, so we've gone a little bit longer than normal. But
Oh, that's what she gets. She gets Majora's.
yeah, she gets Majora's Mask. So hold on, I'll get a good view of it for you guys. Yeah,
What's with you and getting good views of Sia? Jeez.
oh, of her face, jeez.
Ah, now this is what now, guys. This is true fan service. Everybody's always wanted to see what Majora's Mask would look like with tits.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh man. So anyway, I'd like to thank everybody for watching.
That is
Uh,
quite amazing.
um, I'd also like to thank Derek and Catherine for joining me. As always. Like, thanks. You make this really kind of boring task into something less boring. There's holes in Majora's Mask so she can breathe and talk. Wow, I never noticed that. Um, but yeah, thanks everybody for joining us. Hopefully we'll have another one sometime soon, and hopefully by the time I do this next Grindfest, I will have beaten the Majora's Mask DLC. So yeah, thanks everybody. Wait, hold on. We can't end on this. Wait, there we go. Okay. Um. All right. I'll see you guys soon. Later.
Bye, guys.